What up, everybody?
What's going on, everybody?
We had a false start.
Well, welcome to Wicked 101. We're your guest hosts today, Jade.
Yep.
And I'm Heather.
And this is our special guest today, Defekt.
Hi, Defekt. How are you doing today, Defekt?
I'm doing good, ladies. How are you doing?
Good.
Still sober?
So
we could be better.
Well, apparently it doesn't seem like we're sober because we had a very rocky start there. I thought we had it down.
So we literally
What
had
did you do?
3 things to do and we failed
All three.
miserably.
Look, things started
at all 3.
toggling and moving. No.
Well, it
Stationary.
happens.
It's okay.
It happens.
It happens.
Look, we're twinning
Well,
right now.
but
What is that?
We're
Yeah.
here. Oh, yeah.
Not really twinning. What is that? Trying?
Tripling.
Tripling?
We're representing the
tripling.
team.
Team Wicked 101.
We all got our red solo cups.
Yes.
I feel like we're ready to go.
That's right.
We're ready. Oh,
No,
sorry.
you're not going to do this, Jade? There
Alright.
you go.
All right, we got it.
Yep.
So welcome. This didn't work out the way we thought it was going to be because Defekt's already here.
Well, I could walk off. Let's
No,
go.
no.
I'll let you
That's
guys introduce
right.
the show properly.
No. Well, okay.
Yeah, we're going to do this.
Okay.
You ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right.
Hey, welcome to Wicked 101. I'm Hardcore Heather Owens.
And I'm Jade.
And we are live in the wonderful city of Detroit.
In this abandoned schoolhouse.
Yes, there's blood everywhere. We had to step around some creepy shit.
Yeah, rats and whatnot.
Yeah, but now we're here
And we're fine.
and we're gonna hang out with our good friend Defekt.
Yes.
So let's bring him on in. Defekt!
Welcome to the show.
Hey, we're
Can we get a round of applause?
oh,
Come on.
yay!
There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
wait, that's
no.
the crowd laughing.
Yeah, I don't want the crowd to laugh at you
Yeah,
yet.
we don't want that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here,
Not yet.
how about this one?
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this doesn't turn into the Comedy Central roast of Defekt.
No, it won't.
Oh no.
No, it won't. We're fine.
No? Okay.
No.
No.
Well, should we show them what we got going over at the Peanut Gallery just real quick?
Just for the record, it's been renamed only for the show as the Penis Gallery.
Yeah, look how penisy they are.
Yeah, we've got the Peanut Gallery over here. We got Toxic from Murder House and Underground Legend Stubbs.
Hey guys.
And their mics are off, but I just wanted to show you that they're in the building hanging out.
You might recognize them as being security from Astronomicon.
Top
Yeah.
flight security.
They might chime in a little later. So what's going on, y'all?
Nothing.
You're hosting, so you guys can.
No.
Yeah.
I've relinquished control of the show, although the false start makes me a little nervous.
How dare you?
It's okay.
Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry.
So, you might be wondering who these 2 fantastically classy broads are. Well,
Yeah.
we're from the Best Friend Show, and you might be watching our own page.
Yes, we are streaming live from our page, which is the Best Friend Show podcast on Facebook, and we are also on the Wicked 101 page on Facebook as well.
On Defekt's page.
Yes.
And just to show you guys that real quick. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do.
Oh no, but that's us.
That's our icon.
Oh, fuck that one up.
Oh, I thought you said fuck that one. Wait a minute, already? We're starting like this?
Oh man, everything's fucked up. No, this is what I was trying to show
That's
you
right.
guys.
It's Saturday night.
Best
Everybody's
Friend Show
drinking.
podcast.
That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our podcast.
It's gonna be lit tonight. Look, you guys don't even know.
Yeah. So if you're watching our show, we're normally on Fridays, but this will be turned into a Best Friend Show podcast, and you'll be able to hear on iTunes, Stitcher, and SoundCloud on Tuesdays.
Yup. And of course, we'll, retweet and send this shit out all everywhere.
Yep. So let's talk about Defekt.
Let's talk
Hi,
about
Defekt.
Defekt.
Hi. You both turned at me at the same time, and it was
Yeah.
very intimidating. Okay, continue.
Okay. So let's start from the beginning. Let's talk about little baby Defekt.
Okay.
So where'd you grow up?
Small town, mid-Michigan.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I just want to talk to Heather real quick.
Okay.
So Heather,
Yes,
I know that you and I normally do the most talking on the show.
yes.
But today we are hosting Wicked 101. So Defekt is going to have to do the most talking.
I know, and that's
So
I think that's going to be kind of odd for all of us.
And I
up
know
here.
it might be difficult for him at first, and he might just give us, 3-word answers.
And then there's going to be that silence. And
Yeah.
we're like, motherfucker.
Right.
All
'cause
right.
He's used to listening and not being interviewed.
Right.
So I just want to be very clear with you, and I'm very clear with myself, that we have to tone down our talking so that Defekt feels like he can talk freely and be fine. So are you clear?
Oh, I'm clear. I'm clear.
Okay.
Do you know your cue? Like, are you good?
I'm sweating profusely right now, just so you know. Like, it just happened all of a sudden. I started drinking, the show started, and all the anxiety from the show just started pouring out of my pores. So
Nice.
I don't know why.
Well, you know.
More nervous than normal because I don't have control.
You might have heard the pep talk I gave Heather.
Yes, I
Sorry
heard,
about that,
yeah.
that you had to hear that. But,
No,
just so you know, you're getting an interview today.
Okay.
And we need you to answer some questions.
Okay, so
With-
first question
with some
was.
detail.
Okay.
Hard hitting.
So, yeah, I grew up in a small town.
I'm sorry.
I'm sweating profusely. I don't
It's
know
okay.
why.
Give this man a towel. Can we get a towel, please?
Stubbs, can we get a towel, please? I'm just kidding, dude.
No,
You don't gotta
no,
get
he's
a
not.
towel.
You
No,
really
he
need
needs
the
actually
some
towel.
started
paper
getting up.
towel. Paper
Okay,
towel.
so I grew up in a small town, mid-Michigan. Not a whole lot going on there, you know. We drank and we partied, and that's really all that there was to do there, other than go to school and you just drank on the weekends.
So my question is, so we're talking about, young Defekt.
Yes.
Like childhood. You weren't drinking when you were a child. What?
No.
What were you into?
Did you play
I was just
sports?
describing the city.
Do you
know?
like Halloween? Like, did
Wow.
what's your thing? Like, when
As
you're
a
growing
child.
up, what were your favorite things?
Did you like He-Man?
I used
Rainbows,
to get
gumdrops?
I used to get on the coffee table and pretend I was like a famous singer and just start belting shit out, you know. I used to
Okay.
do that when I was a little kid.
So you've always been,
I'm only telling you that because you
love-
want to go back that far.
Yeah, we do.
yeah. So you've always been, you loved music.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
wanted to be an entertainer. Okay.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Go.
Absolutely.
Was the
And-
tabletop glass?
No,
No,
it was
okay,
it was a
good.
wood coffee table.
Okay.
Since we're getting all the details.
I was secretly judging your mom for a moment.
No, I wouldn't be on the glass table. No, she's probably not watching.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot to do in my hometown, man. Like it was just you go out back and you would pretend that the backyard was a fucking magical forest of monsters and you'd have to make shit up. You had to be imaginative. Shit. I had video games and stuff, but like that only we playing
Right.
Atari for so long. You know what I mean?
Well, did you ever watch wrestling?
I did when I was like in my teenage years. Once
Like later Attitude Era type
Yeah,
stuff?
well, around the time ICP was in it,
So
But
very
yeah,
late.
actually, to be honest, I was watching it a lot more when I was a little kid. Like I watched like Hulk Hogan and shit like that. But as I got older, I kind of grew out of it a little bit. Mostly because I just had other things going on, girls and fucking.
Fucking, yes.
Yeah, well,
We get it.
whoa!
I'm
I
sure
didn't.
that's what he said.
Sorry.
So if you haven't heard our podcast before, it is marked E for explicit.
And
Yes.
he was sweating before, but now he's like extra. Yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna be a
I'm
long night.
I'm a puddle.
I'm sorry.
I'm a
I
puddle,
apologize
so,
ahead of
yeah.
time.
Well, I'm already feeling like I'm getting roasted just because
But that's the point of interviews.
I know.
Like,
You're-
this is
no,
about
you're,
you.
you're absolutely right. You're
Well,
absolutely
because
right. I'm not mad about it. I'm just stating a fact.
Well, and I'm an outsider. Like, this is my third time meeting you.
Right.
So, I don't know anything about your past other than, the musicalness. And that you're friends with Jade. And you've been
Right.
friends with her for, longer than I have. So,
Right.
that's all I know.
So the next question I think would be about your voice, right? Like a lot of people in horrorcore, they alter their voice to try to sound more wicked or to sound scary, I guess. And I know that people have thought that of you. Hearing you talk, it's very clear that there's no thing on your voice to alter it. So how did that come about?
Well, when I was born, I had sorry, just making sure everything's right here. I had a cyst on my throat when I was born, and when I was born, I wasn't breathing. So I literally came out blue, and I actually had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck, and they thought that that's why I was blue and I wasn't breathing. So obviously they get rid of the umbilical cord, and they still couldn't get me to breathe. So the doctor was thinking on his feet, just chop, and he stuck his finger down my throat. And he discovered there was something blocking my airway. So they rushed me to emergency. My mom didn't even get to see me, really. and they're like, why the fuck are you taking my baby off? You know what I mean?
Right.
And what's going on? And so they discovered that I had a cyst in my throat, and it was like a birth defect, you know? And that's where I got my name and my voice. And when I was a little baby, I literally sounded like a demon. Like I would yell to my grandma and grandpa that were like 2 houses down, and I'd sound like this, you know? It would be really intense. Actually, I'd probably sounded more like this. But yeah, it was. That's what it was.
So it was pretty scary to be your grandparents.
Yes, probably. Yeah. And after the initial, what they did when I was born, they rushed me to emergency. They used lasers to get rid of the cyst, and I was in ICU for a long time. And actually, they had flown me to like Ann Arbor to U of M for all this stuff, you know. So my mom was probably still in Tawas where I was born, and I was in Ann Arbor, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of fucked up. And then, you know, a couple months later, my mom noticed that my voice was starting to kind of go back. It was starting to get like really strained again. So she took me back to the doctor. They found out the cyst was growing back. And this is all like, you know, I was still a baby, you know. So they tried the laser again. They shot it out with a fucking laser and got rid of it for a while. And my mom said I was crying in my crib, and she's like, I know, it's back. It's back. She took me back to the doctor a third time. And finally said, okay, this laser shit isn't working. So they went in there and they cut me open and they cut out the cyst, and it was done after that, you know. But it was 3 surgeries in my first 6 months, you know what I mean? And so like nowadays, like I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and he put like the tube down my nose because I had like something going on in my throat, and he's like, whoa, what the hell's going on here? And like I had to explain to him that whole story, you know, like because my vocal cords, like your vocal cords are normally like a square almost, and like mine are like an hourglass shape. And so like it's different, you know. So yeah, that's how I got my name. That's how I got my voice. And it was literally like when I first started doing music, I was still in high school, and I was like, what should my name be? And my buddy was like, well, why don't we call you Defekt? And I was like, all right, bet. That's what it is. You know what I mean? So that's the real deal, you know. One of my high school buddies actually coined it. And
Would that be Gary?
no, that'd be Noah.
Oh.
Yeah, he probably never heard it.
No.
He was like the star athlete in my high school. You know what I mean? A good friend of mine. If you're watching, what up, Noah? But I don't think he's watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's
possible.
You never know. We had someone from my high school watch that I haven't seen in 20 years.
It's
so
possible, yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, that's how I got my name. That's how I got my voice. And a lot of people think it's not true. You know, like a lot of people, oh, he's just straining his voice to sound like that, or yeah, he just made up that story as a gimmick. But no, it's absolutely 100% factual. Like that really happened.
Yeah, because I know the first time that I heard your voice, and I'm just like, because that's what everybody was doing back then. I'm like, okay, so you just pawn it off as like, just another horrorcore dude.
No.
But then actually, you know, knowing Jade and something like, oh, okay, and then I met you, I'm like, all right, well, there's a reason for the Defekt name. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason for everything.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, I mean that's all factual. I mean, look it up. Call my doctor, man. Call the. You don't believe it, motherfucker.
And that's in a small town in mid-Michigan, so find that guy. It'll be easy to locate
He's
that
probably not even a doctor anymore, to be honest. I mean, that was fucking 30 years ago.
So he might be dead, is what you're saying?
He could very possibly be.
Wow,
I mean, it's entirely possible.
that's a downer. That's such a downer. We're talking about dead people now. Ugh.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, man.
Okay, so that's your childhood, right? You get into high school. You're talking about your friend. So when did you decide to start doing music?
Well, I think that, you know, very early on, my brother was listening to Dr. Dre and 2 Live Crew and shit that was going on in the West Coast and Snoop Dogg. And, you know, I'm fucking 10 years old, and my brother's listening to this shit, and I'm probably where I learned about a lot of things that I shouldn't have been knowing about at that age, you know. And so yeah, my love for rap kind of stemmed from that. My brother listening to all that West Coast shit, and you know, once he kind of left, and I started buying CDs myself. My first rap CD was Warren G, Regulate G-Funk era. Of course, I had cassettes before that, but that was the first rap CD I went out and bought on my own. You know what I mean? And soon after that, because I think that was like 93, 94 when that album came out. Soon after that, you know, my friends were listening to ICP, Riddlebox, you know, and they brought a tape over, and I was fucking 13 years old listening to that shit, and that kind of opened the gateway, you know, like where they all kind of got over it after, you know, a year or two. I was still like really into it, you know, and I kind of followed. And I started looking for other bands that were doing it, like House of Crazies and Simpkin Heights and fucking Isham and Nodis and all that kind of shit, you know what I mean? And I started listening to that, and more and more it just started to feel like what they were saying in the music and what they were trying to portray, like I had something to give to that too, you know? And I just started dabbling. And to be honest, when I first started, I didn't know how to rap. I didn't know what a fucking bar was. I didn't know you put 16 bars together to make a verse. I didn't know how to make a beat. I just started downloading software and putting this together with that, and fucking, you know. And matter of fact, the first song I ever did, this is true, the first song I ever did, I didn't know how to make beats, right? So like the software would, it came with like some loops and shit, you know, so you get like drum loops or whatever. So I'd probably just pull like a drum loop, maybe fucked with it a little bit, and then I actually took the intro to Afterbirth from Prozac and reversed it.
Right, I'm aware.
Yeah, you're not. I'm not proud of it. Okay, but I reversed it and made the beat, you know, and that was the first song I ever did. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was just me trying to figure it out. You know, that wasn't any disrespect to Prozac or Bedlam or anybody. You know, that was me being a fan of their music and like trying to fucking make my own music. You know, and I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I was a fucking. I was 16, 17 years old. You know, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So yeah, man.
You debuted that song at the Gathering of the Juggalos in Novi.
2000, yeah. You actually helped me hand those out.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute, though. That's kind of jumping ahead, I feel. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The Gathering of the Juggalos 2000, we were handing out those flyers, or those samplers rather, the Lost in My Mind sampler or whatever it was. You wanted longer answers, so I started talking.
No, it's great.
You're cool.
So yeah, that kind of migrated into me, like, you know, my sister obviously was making more money than I was because I was still in high school, you know, and I talked her into a loan for like $1,100. I talked her to $1,100 loan, but I went and bought, we ordered a drum machine. And for all you producers out there, I know I haven't been looking at the camera, but for all you producers out there, my first drum machine was an Ensoniq ASRX Pro. It's a big red motherfucker. And so she ordered that for me and spotted me the money, and I eventually paid her back, I think. Thanks, sis. And she ordered me like a shitty little dynamic mic, and I just ran that into the audio input of my computer, and that's how I recorded my first album, made all the beats for Birth Defects. Now, and half of Broken Mirrors, come to think of it, you know? So that's all it was. It was just me trying to figure shit out. And then when I went to, once I finally graduated, I went to recording school and kind of learned a little bit more about that shit. And then that kind of just, you know, $40,000, $50,000 in equipment later, here we are.
That's not at your house.
That's not at my house, no.
Right, you got that.
We're in an abandoned school right now.
Right.
Bodies.
It's at that place that you rented.
I heard your car got fucked up on the way to the school today.
It did.
What happened there, man?
Fucking Detroit. I'm sorry, I'm an outsider, so.
So we, Heather and I had an easy trip up. No issues. You know, I'm originally from here, so I was over at my brother's house waiting till it was time to come over here. We spent the day down in Greektown, went to Comics and More, bought some shit there. was waiting at my brother's house. Big storm comes through, and I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad we don't got to drive through this shit. So I see, like, there's a bunch of sticks on the ground and stuff. My brother texts me and is like, oh, hey, you should not park under my tree because branches fall off of it. And I'm like, there's already a branch on my car. But it, like, wasn't on my car. It was on the ground next to the passenger side door. So I'm like, it's fine. So I go out there. We move the sticks away from my car. And then I get in, back up, turn the windshield wipers on, and my windshield is shattered.
True story.
Yep. 'Cause
That's
my life. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's 2018, and that's how this year is rolling for
Yeah,
everyone.
fuck this year. And I just throw it out there for anybody else. 2018 has been a real shitty year. So let's just finish it out. Finish it out strong. Next year, we're gonna rock it out hard.
But if you're
All of us.
interested in buying a house in Cincinnati, there's a really, really nice one on Trenton Avenue for the low price
Yes.
of like 75 grand.
Yeah, in Cincinnati.
Well
So,
taken care of, heavy doors, brand new carpet. It's fantastic. Please buy it.
did not have dogs.
Did you bring an ad for it? We can put it on the screen.
713. You want me to pull it up on my phone?
No,
I'm saying.
I was just kidding.
We'll post that later.
There you go.
We'll post it later. You know, while we were talking about it, I was just going through my slides because I put together some slides.
Oh,
And,
slides are fun.
Slides are fun, and I basically just put a bunch of shit together, and I was like, if we randomly talk about this, maybe I will put it on the screen, right? So this right here was actually my first recording studio, and it's not much. It was a 233 megahertz processor. I don't think it even had a gig of RAM. It was kind of a piece of shit.
What is that? The late 90s?
That was late 90s, yes.
Is that the birth defect art on the wall?
Yes, it's a clock. I don't even know how. I still have it to this day.
Nice.
But yeah, and actually, when I was really, really getting started, before my sister bought me that equipment, I would rap into the microphone that was at the top of that computer screen.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
You've never heard
Oh my
anything that I
God.
recorded that way? But that's originally, before I had the equipment, that's what I was
That's awesome.
doing.
Hey, you gotta
Whack.
start somewhere.
Yeah,
You know?
Whack as
sure,
that
that's
sounds.
great.
Hey, you wanted facts? I'm giving you facts.
Yep. So let's talk about how I met Defekt.
Okay. I mean, that's about getting into that era now. Okay.
Yeah, so he went to high school. He became a rapper in high school.
Well, you know, actually, I think
it
was
happened after I met you, but
I think it was kind of beginning to happen as I met you. Yeah. So, 1999, I think it was their 4 days of freshness that turned into like 2 days of freshness.
right. I
I
can never remember how many days it is. I'm like, was it 3 days?
was
Was
4
it
days.
5 days?
It was originally
Like,
4
I
days.
just remember it being like 3.
Well, ICP had this thing they were doing in Detroit, and it was like the 4 days of freshness, and it was supposed to be the Big Baller Christmas Party, JCW, and I honestly don't remember what the other 2 days were supposed to be. 'Cause they got canceled.
Debut of Big Money Hustlers.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay,
And then I don't remember what the other one was.
gotcha.
That's why I always think it's 3 because I can never remember anything else. So
Well, it ended up being 2.
yeah, because they canceled the Big Money Hustlers one and then did it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ended up just. Anyways, point is, I had my sister again. I was like 16 years old, right? So my sister drove me to fucking Detroit. And we stayed at the La Casa in Hazel Park. You know,
Right.
yeah. You're
At
like,
9
yeah,
Mile
yeah.
and John Hart. He's
You're like,
like,
"I
do
know."
you know? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know. Okay. So 9 Mile in Detroit, 9 Mile in John R. in Hazel Park. There was a huge skyrise hotel thing.
It used to be a Holiday Inn.
Really?
Yeah, and then it
Okay.
became a La Casa.
That place was dangerous, by the way. I didn't mean to get animated. That place was fucking dangerous, dude. Seriously. Yeah. not because of that though.
Oh,
no.
shit, then
No,
no-
because like
sorry.
later on I would go there, and like there was one time I don't remember who was with me. I just remember getting like I stopped short of getting on the elevator, and all my friends and whoever was with me at the time was staying there got on the elevator, and I heard them screaming as the elevator got stuck.
Oh,
I don't remember who it was. I was with your dad was there. I don't remember who else was there. And I was like, oh my God, should I call downstairs? Like, what the fuck do I do in that point? Because they started moving, and then all of a sudden you hear, like everybody's screaming. That place was dangerous, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's good. That's good. But anyways, so we were staying at the La Casa, and, you know, the show had hours before it was going to start. We were there early. And I noticed that there was a Harmony House across the street.
So if you don't live in the Michigan, Northern Ohio area, Harmony House was a locally owned record store. It only had like, I don't know, 20 stores or something.
Right. And there was one in Saginaw, which I used to drive to Saginaw and go there specifically to look for horrorcore shit. Because once I got hooked, I was hooked, man. And I would be constantly looking for Esham or Nodis. And I would go to the record stores, and I would find these groups that I had heard about. They were like, it was like mythical, because it was like before the internet was really helping these guys.
Right.
And I would hear like little things about, oh, this guy Esham, and he worships the devil. I'm like, yeah, right, you know, blah blah blah. So I would go and I would look for the CD that looked the coolest. I would look for because I didn't know if it was gonna be good or not, and some of them weren't, but a lot of them were good. Like I landed on some great albums that way.
Right.
I found "Do You Believe in God" that way. I found "Kill the Fetus." I found "Closed Casket." I found all kinds of shit, you know. And I would go to the record store and I would buy the one that looked the coolest, or the couple that looked the coolest, whatever I could afford, you know. So when we went down to this 4 days of freshness thing, it was basically gonna be my sister dropping me off at this thing, and I was gonna go hang out by myself. And so I seen that there was a Harmony House and there was Time to Kill, so I walked across the street to Harmony House to see what was going down. And I walked up to Jay, who was working there at the time, and I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I basically asked her for the horrorcore section. And she directed me, and then we started talking, and you know,
Yeah,
take it away.
Yeah, so we ended up talking, and I was actually gonna go to the JCW thing. So I actually rode with Defekt, and I thought you were there with Gary. I didn't know your sister drove you guys. I thought you drove down with Gary.
I was there by myself, I thought.
Really? No.
See, that's what
That's
happens
how I
when
met
you get
Gary.
old. You forget shit.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, I think he was by himself. I don't think his sister drove him. He's old. I remember. There was with Gary.
100% my sister was there. 100%. 100%. We'll call her right now if we need to. 100%. She wasn't at the show. She didn't go to the show. I was dropped off.
I rode with you.
No way.
Yes. Yes. I rode with you to JCW.
I need a bell, like round one, ding ding.
No, and then we went.
No, I think you're right.
No, we stood outside in the freezing fucking cold.
No. Here's what happened.
You're lucky I'm in the middle.
I'm so hard right now. Okay. So here's what happened. So my sister and me drove to the La Casa. I think I then took her car
Okay.
to go to the show.
Okay. Then I have no idea when I ever met Gary.
I could not, dude. I don't think that he was there. I really don't. Anyway, this is not relevant. The point is, this is how we
Relevant
met.
at all.
So we've been knowing each other since 1999.
Yeah.
That's really what you need to know. And you know, we became good friends.
My dad thought I was a lunatic. Like, this is important for the following story because my dad thought I was a lunatic, that I would get into a car with some random stranger that I
Who
met.
is this guy? No, the first time I met your dad was actually The Gathering.
Yeah.
I think you got your stories mixed up.
No. I'm telling you, the first time I met you,
No, you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No. You're right.
No, you're right. Go ahead. Continue with your story.
It's starting to piece together.
So I met him. I rode with him to JCW. I came home. I got yelled at. My dad always says, "Are you cuckoo or something?" That's his favorite thing to say to me. And he was like,
This guy could be a killer.
Exactly. And I'm like, Dad, I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character. And he's like, you're a fucking moron. And, you know, pretty much. So, you know, not in an abusive way, in a loving father way. Just saying, because I'm sure he's watching. So he said, you know, I'm an idiot and I should have never did that. And I'm like, well, he's a pretty good dude. And I spent the day with him and I think he's fine. So fast forward, you know, we did you already talked about the Gathering thing. You know, you came out as Defekt. You made your CD with a reverse of Prozac song.
Sorry, Prozac.
We handed it out.
Probably still hates me for that.
We handed it out. I don't understand why, but okay. So, we handed it out at the Gathering, right? Do you remember staying in the same hotel room?
Yes.
It was me, you,
Yes.
Hysteria, Lavelle, Jamie, or
J-Mo.
yeah,
80K.
Anybody Killer.
80K, yeah.
Strychnine and Dago.
I don't remember Strychnine and Dago being
In
there.
one room.
I know for sure Dago. Yes.
But I remember J-Mo being there, and I remember Lavelle being there.
Yeah, I have a picture of Lavelle sleeping with a
Hell
pizza
right.
box as his
That's
pillow.
fantastic.
Oh my God.
Oh, I think my cousin Carla was there too. She was.
She definitely was. Yeah.
So my cousin was there too.
And the cat down the street. And
No, but-
fucking Jesus.
And,
We did all sleep in the. We all did sleep in the same room.
And I actually, since we're talking about the Gathering 2000.
I was gonna say, did you have that picture?
Yeah,
Like-
this
Oh, yeah,
was
that picture.
my first appearance as Defekt on stage, and you'll see that I was in fact wearing an Insane Clown Posse Christmas shirt in the middle of the summer. That's how jug I was.
He was.
You're such a
It's true.
baby. Yeah.
I believe
Yeah,
that
true.
to the gathering I wore a Jamie Madrox shirt where I then put on a half-breed sweatshirt. After
Sounds
that.
about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we went to the Gathering, and I remember I picked you up. We went to the Gathering. That's when I met your dad, because I think he wanted to meet me and make sure I wasn't a murderer or
Right.
a rapist or some kind of weirdo. And me and him actually hit it off the way things go. And he was at the Gathering. We hung out at the Gathering, you know, and one thing leads to another. And, you know, then we started a record label together.
Yep. They started Widowmaker together after
Yep.
he was a crazy lunatic the year before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's a good picture of the. This is kind of before we started Widowmaker together.
So that's when my dad was working with Bedlam.
Yes.
And that's at the Jamestown Massacre. Jamestown Hall
Absolutely.
Massacre.
Yep. So that was in 2000. So after I met him at the Gathering, he got me on this show. 100%. It was him doing the. You know, he was like, "We're gonna bring this guy Defekt on the show." I opened the motherfucker. I did one song. The one song that I had the reverse of the Happy Birth sample.
Where he opened for Bedlam.
And I opened for Beth.
Where Prozac is a member.
Oh dear God, what was I thinking back then? But look, so this was the first show I did. Obviously, it was Sans Beard, a picture with Wicked D, and then of course in the top corner you see Hospital H. They actually showed up to the show, I think, to mock me. I don't think they were actually my fans, because I would go to the mall and I would hand out CDs, and that's where I met these guys. I would go to the mall and I would hand out CDs to juggalos and stuff that I seen at the mall, and I met these guys, and I think they just thought I was a fucking joke.
I like that you're all 5 in that picture.
We're all totally fine. Let me just turn that. Let me just take that off the screen now, since you're making fun of me.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
it's great. You guys are so little back then.
So they came to the show. They're like, "We're the biggest Defekt fans ever. Can we get a picture?" And they were like, I think they were mocking me, to be honest. But they ended up doing the Hospital H thing. They ended up starting a rap group, and I recorded them, and that's kind of how it all started right there.
So they were, what, the second group on Widowmaker? Like Antic?
Well,
Maybe Antic was the second
Antic,
group on Widowmaker?
Antic was the second group. It would
So
be.
Antic was a totally different genre.
Yeah.
My dad didn't want Widowmaker just to be like a horrorcore label. He wanted to like run the gambit. So
Yeah.
Antic was more of like a rock,
Like rap rock.
like Marilyn Manson
Yeah, more like a
sort
Marilyn
of thing.
Manson. All the beats were produced, though. It wasn't like a band.
Yeah, he did all the beats himself though, which was pretty sick. So we had Antic and then Hospital H.
Well, Hospital H came a little bit later. Like I started making beats and stuff for them, and I started recording them, and we didn't add them officially till later. But at the end of the day, like nobody ever put in an album on Widowmaker except me.
Right.
Antic put out like a little CDR that we burned at your dad's house, and
Right.
that was it. But like at the end of the day, we were trying to pull these artists in, and for one reason or another, it didn't work out. Like with Antic, we actually did the first show we did as the label Widowmaker. We did the Hatching of the Spawn, and it was in Hazel Park.
Right.
I don't know if we're there yet. Should we
At the Ice Arena.
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
we're
we
there.
can talk about
Okay.
it. It's going.
So so the Hatching of the Spawn, it was supposed to be the first show that we did, and we rented out this ice arena, and there was no stage in the ice arena, so we decided, as naively as it was, that we were gonna build a fucking stage in this ice arena,
Oh my
right?
God.
So we literally went to Home Depot and bought lumber and bought wood and bought all this shit. We drug it upstairs. It wasn't just like the main floor of this building. No, it was like this hockey arena that was
Right.
like upstairs, right? And so we drug all this shit upstairs. Matter of fact, I have a picture of slideshow, man. I got it prepared. So this was the flyer and my horrible hairdo that I had at the time. And we literally drug all this stuff up to this ice arena. And we built a stage at the ice arena. Jay Reno remembers us because even though he's not on the flyer, he was there. And he performed at that show. Maybe with Cannibalistic. I don't remember. Maybe you can tell us later on when he calls in, if he calls in. But that was the first show we put on as Widowmaker, and it was kind of a sham, really, because I mean we didn't even end up using that stage because the lights were all focused on the crowd. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Like the lights were focused on the crowd, so we were like on stage and it was all dark and it didn't make any fucking sense. So we ended up just being off with the crowd, and there wasn't much of a crowd as you can see in that picture that I put up. So yeah. Anyways, that was the first show we did. And, yeah.
Okay, so I got a quick question.
Yeah.
So the first time that I ever, like, officially met you, you were in Cincinnati, and that's when I don't even want to call him professional wrestlers because I'm not a fan of New Jack, but New Jack actually was running a wrestling company in Cincinnati, and you and Jade's father came down, and it was in the middle of a wrestling ring in Cincinnati.
And I didn't get to perform.
You did not get to perform. But
that was years later, but yeah.
Yes. Do you know when that was? I mean,
I might have a flyer.
Oh,
shit. Come to think of it. No, I don't think I added it.
Okay, because I'm even trying to think.
I feel like
it
wasn't important enough to talk about because I didn't even perform.
But that's the very, very first time that I actually met you.
Yeah. I didn't realize we had met at that show.
Yeah, no, that was because, I had already known her dad previously.
That didn't occur to me.
Yeah,
because Heather's been my friend since like 2001.
Fuck you.
No,
fucking boys, man. Look, boys, see.
Hey, is the phone on?
Phone is on. Okay. Yes, it's just not on the screen.
So that's my story.
So yeah. That was the first show
I wanted to talk about it because I'm like,
well,
hi.
No, we drove down to Cincinnati to do the show in a wrestling ring, and we got there and it got shut down midway through the show, and I didn't even get to perform.
Yeah, because New Jack's a piece of shit.
So I drove all the way, dude. It was like an 8-hour drive.
In the dark for nothing. Yes.
It was really frustrating.
It was really that far.
8 hours for me, yeah.
Jesus.
I was mid-Michigan. I was still living in
oh my God.
all gay.
I think that happened like a couple times.
There was another show.
When you drove all the way to Cincinnati.
Dude.
There was another show that I got there, and the promoter was just being a fucking dick. Like, he was like, I'll get to you when I get to you. And I was like, all right, we're leaving.
And it's so
fun. We literally just got in the car and left.
Dude, that was the show with Bag of Hammers, right?
I honestly don't
in Newport?
remember.
In Newport?
I think it was in Newport, yeah.
Well, it's funny. You keep, you tell these stories. It's like about your first show, and you try to build a stage and all this, and like legit, it sounds like wrestling. Like all of entertainment, like the independence. That's how it is. Like you drive to a town, and you're like, oh well, they didn't need me anymore. They canceled the show, so I'm fucking out of money now.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that. It's like all like music, comedy, fucking. It's the same bullshit.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, being a wrestler, you've gone through all this shit.
Yeah, so I completely
you totally
sympathize. Totally.
The thing is, like, there were so many shows that were like just bullshit. You know, like there was so much bullshit going on behind the scenes that like. And there'd only be like 20 people there.
Yep,
and you're just like, what the fuck
Shady
am I even doing, man?
Yep. You're like, is it
You'd
worth
show up to
it?
some remote town, podunk town, and you'd be like, what the fuck is even going on?
Yep.
And somebody just tried calling in, and I totally missed it. My bad.
Oh.
Sorry.
I don't know who it was. Who was it?
Jay Reno.
Oh, my bad, Jay Reno.
But he's the sadist.
Oh, incoming call. Let's see who we got here. This is a 248 number, though.
Hello.
You're live on the air.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? It's Carlos.
Carlos? God damn it. What's going on, bro? You watching the show?
I am.
What do you think so far? Am I dying up here?
Just as handsome as ever. It's all good.
As handsome as ever. Thank you, sir.
You're glowing.
Of course you would come with some compliment like that and make me feel getting all blushy. How is your recovery going, man?
Oh, who cares about me? I'm fine. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. I am still hurting, but I'm taking care of myself and hopefully should be back to work in the next couple weeks.
Awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. I'm gonna have to come get some ink from you, man. It's been on the to-do list
For a long time.
for a long time, man. It's one of those things you gets lost in the sauce, man. If anybody doesn't know, Carlos is long-time viewer, first-time caller, and he's been in the game with me for a long time. I mean, you're not really doing music anymore, but yeah, used to be Drama
Yeah, I was gonna
Deus.
say you're gonna mention his name.
Well, I didn't know if he wanted
What's
me
that?
to. Like, I didn't know if he's like, oh yeah, go ahead and no, Drama Deus, Cellar Mannequin, That on Fire. There's all kinds of shit he was doing back in the day, man. So what's popping, man?
Tons of projects. I was just sitting here watching and thinking about this time that we did a trip together, you and me. And I remember it was just the two of us at your place, and I scared the shit out of you. Do you remember this?
Is this a romantic thing?
I don't remember you
No.
scaring me, but go on. I'm curious.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah,
oh, not
so
there.
We're doing a track together, and I was in the booth, and if anybody who's listening that remembers, the Defekt's vocal booth had no windows, and it was very hot, and it was like this small little room of just like mystery. So anyway, he's on the other side tracking, and I was doing some vocal stacks for a song I think it was called "The American Way,"
Yes.
and yep, did a vocal stack just on the phrase "the American way," and it was just me saying "the American way," and I did another one that was, he's like, do it a little bit deeper, and I was like, "the American way." He's like, awesome. And I was like, let me do one deeper. You're like, deeper than that? I was like, yeah, let me do one deeper. And he was like, all right, whatever. So then I went, and he's like, oh my god, what the hell just happened in my house?
Oh man, that track never even got released.
No,
I should play it tonight. Maybe I'll dig it out tonight.
That's what I like the most about you, though. Is that out of everybody that's done underground shit, there's like honestly like buried in the mud material that is memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know if you know what I mean.
I do know
But
what you
that's what
mean.
I'm saying. Yeah. There's stuff that just like is there that's like, oh man, that was good. That was good. Where is it? It's deep underground.
Yeah.
That's deep.
And that some of that shit never even got released though. Like it was like.
Oh, I'm well aware about not releasing. I have full albums that have been released.
You know what's
I
funny?
get it.
You know what's funny, man? Like the thing is, like by the time I got around to releasing it, it was like 10 years later, and like we
Sure.
recorded it in 2008. You know, and it was. I even say in the
There's a
track,
different
it's
price.
2008, and we're still filled with hate. You know, and it was actually
Right.
a dope song, man. It was a really cool song. It was. I'm gonna fucking play it tonight. I'm gonna go. I don't even have it ready, but I'm gonna go fucking play it. It's probably a rough mix, and it's not right, but. I actually went. I don't even know if you know this, Carlos, but I went with. I put a bunch of tracks with Fritz, and we started remaking them, and not really remaking them, but just kind of added stuff, spicing them up. That was one of them. Fritz actually lent his expertise to that track, and still never got released. It's just sitting up there, just marinate 10 years later, man. Like I literally said 2008 on the track, dude. And because we were talking about the election that was coming up with Obama and McCain and stuff like that, and
Yeah, so that's topical.
nowadays it kind of is actually. Come to think of it, but see, you know, it's like political stuff is a slippery slope when you're doing music,
Right.
because you could like lose an entire section of fans if they don't agree with you, and it's a slippery slope. You either got to be all in, or you got to be like, you know what, I'm just not going to touch that.
And that's what we do on our show.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
talk about it at all.
Yeah.
No politics, no religion.
And that's kind of where I've always been, and that's why that track never came out, even though it's dope. It's fucking dope. Like that track, Carlos ripped it, dude. I'm sorry,
I
I'm
don't
getting
remember
animated.
any of it. I only remember a lyric when it was like the most like, because for listeners who don't really know, like my projects weren't ever like about like bragging about like having money or anything like that type. It was always like horrorcore shit.
Right.
But I remember one lyric on there where I said white gold and diamonds, 12 grand in my ears, and I felt so baller.
Oh,
So that's all I
man.
remember about that song. I would love to hear it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go dig it up when we get to a break at some point here. I'm actually gonna go. This show's gonna go longer. I just hope you guys know that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not going anywhere.
We've got like 10 people calling in, and we're only on the first one.
That's
and,
all right. We got drinks. We're
we
good.
haven't, I haven't even played any of these debut songs that I've got. So yeah, this show's going late. I can see that. We got drinks
Right on,
though.
man. I just wanted to call in and say what's up and get my 2 cents in. That's all.
Bro, look, man, when you get on your feet, check out Carlos. He's got his own tattoo shop coming up once he gets better, and you need to check him out if you're in the Detroit area. You've done everybody, man. Like Madrock's got tattoos from you.
Madrock's got art in his house hanging up from Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And
Really?
I think Tim and Michelle, Toxic, and his girlfriend got tattoos from Carlos. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So like everybody, man, everybody who's anybody in Detroit's got tattoos from Carlos, and
Yeah.
I need
he's
a Dark
dope.
Phoenix tattoo. If you
Yeah.
can do that, that'd be awesome.
I mean, if Jade's coming
Like,
up, I'll get a tattoo too. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm always down.
We'll just tat it up.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the shout out, man. Enjoy your night, bro.
Hey, thanks for calling
Yeah,
in, bro.
thanks for calling in.
Hell yeah.
Love you, man. That's dope. Fucking Carlos, man.
I love seeing Defekt so excited.
Man, Carlos is the shit, man. Look, I'm gonna have to go dig that song up. Matter of fact, I could probably do it while we're talking. So go ahead and continue.
Okay, well, wait.
Oh,
Because we might get another person who's going to call in soon.
Oh,
so
really?
Just as a heads up.
We gotta pay attention because it's not gonna. I got it so it doesn't like ring.
There's so
We
many
missed-
lights. I don't know what to look at.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy.
I can't multitask. I'm fucking horrible. I'm blonde. I can't do it.
Yeah, Defect's like, when you come up, I'm going to show you how my stuff's all set up, and then you guys can get
All
your
you have
podcast
to
like
do-
that.
They're
And
like,
he's
nah.
like,
Bruh.
all you got to do is run 3 computers. I'm like,
Right.
oh,
Who we
shit.
got? We got another caller here. Caller, you're live on the air.
No.
Yo, what up?
We got Jay Reno in the building. What's going on, man?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for calling in, bro. Look, have you been watching the show?
Somebody told me I got to call in and tell some Defekt stories.
Oh God, you better be PG-13, bro.
No.
Because I know you got some stories that I don't want people to know about. So you better censor yourself there.
We won't take that route, bro. I won't do that to you on your own show.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for being
friend.
a friend.
A friend, a good friend.
Yep. Indeed.
Here's the story for you guys real quick, all right?
We're ready.
So, Defekt purchased 6 beats from me probably about a year and a half ago.
Dude, I just sent him $200. I was like, bro, make me some beats. That's how I was like,
wait.
I need beats. I'll wait.
I thought this
Here's-
was going to turn into the Defekt owes me money.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
Thanks for letting me call in.
No, fuck
He
no.
got 6 beats from me. I still
Bro,
ain't seen my money.
Technically, I owe him.
Oh.
No, I was like, bro, here's $200. I need beats. Like, I need to be inspired. I'm paying you to inspire me. Build me something. Inspire me. Drag it out of me.
And
Make
go.
me right.
And if anybody can do it, it's Jay Reno beat.
Jay Reno. Well, we go back a long
He
way.
takes,
So.
he takes his music so seriously, though, that he literally takes 3 months to make a decision on a beat.
It's true. It's really my fault. I'm gonna just call it like it is. It's totally my fault. I just didn't get back to him. And, and then like I get back to it and like, fuck, this was actually kind of cool. I could use this. And then like before you know it, it's like 3 months later, and it's like you get lost.
Doesn't feel the same anymore.
It doesn't. No, it's totally my fault. I'm sorry.
Anyways, man, you guys were talking about that the hatching of the Spawn show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't perform at that, bro. I didn't even have a song back then.
Well, that's what he said, that you
But
didn't
you were
perform,
there,
but
bro.
you were there.
I know you were there because I watched.
I was there. I was a fan. I was the #1 Defekt fan because I never seen nobody sit down on the
Man,
floor
come
in the
on,
middle
you
of
were-
a set and start rapping.
Come on, you were there for Cannibalistic. Don't lie.
Nah, that was just a ride.
Wow.
Oh.
Live and
You just-
on Wicked
I
101.
needed to, I
Plenty
needed
up
to
on
break
game.
into the Michigan scene, man.
Bro, look, I remember there was a video. I have a video somewhere amongst my stuff. You just walked past the camera, like you were just literally this like 12-year-old Jay Reno just walking past the camera, mean mugging the camera, like, why you filming me, motherfucker? And you just walk past the camera, and that's what it was. And I'm like, man, that's so old school. Just
But he
thinking about
hasn't always been Jay Reno.
No, he was the sadist.
Yes.
And
Oh, I still am. You can go pick up Snap Music too on iTunes right now.
I know.
Shameless
Look,
plug.
I'm there. Wasn't I supposed to be on this new album, man? Weren't you supposed to send me something?
It was in one of those beats he sent you.
Oh yeah, the album's
Yeah.
still in the works. I'm just being like you. I got to take 2 months to make sure the song is right.
Oh, I thought you meant 10 years.
Ooh,
That's
see,
how
the
someone
roast.
Bro.
You're starting to fade out there, Jay. I think we can hear you anymore. What's wrong with your mic there?
How about now?
Oh man.
You got me?
No, I got you. I was talking about them.
He was muting
Them. Whoa.
God damn
So,
it.
Defekt unintentionally. Here's my story for y'all. Defekt unintentionally humbled me in the worst way possible.
Thanks for calling
He unintentionally brought me down to earth during the Tunnel Runners era. So we're at the gathering. We're
I don't know
hanging
where
out at
I
the
don't know where
gathering
this
and
is going.
whatnot. And this
I really don't know where
motherfucker
this is going.
we're walking around, and he says to me, he says, "You know what, bro?" He says, "I'm hanging out with Jay Reno." He says, "I'm gonna get some bitches because I'm hanging out with Jay Reno."
That was the joke for
check
the
this
night,
out.
dude. That was the
So
shock
we walked
therapy
around
tour,
the
wasn't
gathering
it?
grounds. We're all drinking and just walking around.
Uh,
And every girl that walked by, my man goes, "Hey, what up? I'm with Jay Reno." And they kind of just they kind of just look at us and be like, kind of, give you that look like, I don't know who the fuck that is. So have a good night. You know what I mean? And I think it must have happened like 10, 15
man.
times. And by the end of the night, I had realized that I wasn't shit. And he didn't even know it, but it was the biggest reality check I think I ever received in my entire life.
That is the greatest story. And I think that joke actually carried on, bro, because I don't remember doing it at the gathering. I remember doing it in the shock therapy tour. You were on tour with fucking ICP at Hollow Wicked, and I was like, "Hey, what up? I'm with Jay Reno."
It's like, who?
True, bro. True. That's what I remember doing. I don't even remember doing it at the gathering. That joke carried on, bro. So, wow.
Yeah, that hey, man, that joke actually lasted a long time, but it was a really humbling experience because I at least expected one person to be like, "Yo, that's cool shit, man."
How you doing? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe we do want to talk to these motherfuckers that look like scrubs.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
it didn't work out, and I don't know. I think V just intimidated everybody around us all the time,
Probably.
It was the skin tight shirt.
looking like fucking Jeepers Creepers all the time.
Where's the horn? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, oh, man. Oh, that's funny shit, dude. Thank you for that.
That's my Defekt story. I got other Defekt stories, but we ain't gonna.
That's the
We ain't gonna get
PG-13
into that.
one.
Yeah, actually, might be R. I don't know.
Probably.
R for ridiculous.
But I
Sorry.
appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you leaving your equipment in JP's garage so I could record albums.
Yeah.
Letting me and like 8 of my homeboys come through and crash on your fucking couch and your floor and shit.
It's true. These stories go on and on, bro.
Yes, they do.
Long time, man.
But I'm gonna be around, man. I'm gonna watch the show for a little while and shit. So you guys have a good night and thanks for having me on.
Thanks for calling,
Yeah,
bro.
thanks for
And
calling.
give me some beats, man. I need to get inspired.
Jesus. All right. Yeah. I'm on it, man. I'm on it.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out.
That motherfucker.
So like that's what I wanted like these guys to call in for because
Right.
I feel like I've known you for so long and I know how much stuff that you've done and like the thing that I see is that you're really unselfish and you put other people ahead of your own things. So yeah, I did razz you a little bit about 10 years between albums, but it's because in that time you're loaning Jay Reno your equipment. You're recording everybody and their brother, including V Sinister, like 12 times, on the same album. So it's like you're doing all these things for other people. And I think that, the underground doesn't really understand how much you put in to put out these other artists.
Right.
So
There's
I think,
a lot that goes into it.
Right. And
It's
I think with Jay Reno calling in, I think that's a good time for a break. because my cup's empty.
My cup's
And,
empty too. Yeah.
And
What should
that
we-
was
what
really
should-
heartwarming, and I love him, and I'm glad he called in.
What do you want to play? Should we play one of these premieres?
know,
I
man.
got
You set
several
it up.
world premieres tonight.
Do you have any Skinnerd?
I don't have any Skinner.
Damn it!
And if I did have Skinner, it'd probably get zeroed out because
Nobody likes.
no, not because
likes-
nobody likes it. Because where the fuck are my tracks?
I thought you were playing them all when we were in.
Yeah.
Problems. How you gonna solve them? Where did I put these fucking files?
That's what
it
we're about
hasn't downloaded the files. All right, we're gonna play a music video because apparently my files aren't downloading properly. Son of a bitch.
So see, it's not just us who can't work his equipment.
Oh.
But stay tuned. So
I've been drinking. Look.
yes. So everybody keep.
We have some world premieres for you.
And it's
And
gonna
we
be a
have
long
about
night.
and we have about 4 more people
See,
calling
there's
in.
a whole,
so.
There's a whole folder that's not showing up on that computer. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
see what
when
I
you
see?
run 12
see it.
computers, I'm
Here.
sure that happens.
Everything's duplicated right now. I'm
All
staring
right,
at.
Why don't we do this? Why don't
18
I
screens.
play it on this
Yes.
computer?
We're gonna
Okay.
play some shit, and you're gonna watch and listen.
and
we're
it's gonna be
to-
great.
So everybody go, turn it up. You can listen to it. Get your solo cup, fill it up, come back. We'll hang out.
Ooh, put the camera on the penis gallery.
Yes. What's the
Are you-
penis
are you wanna see the
gallery
penis
doing?
gallery really
Oh,
We've been on here the whole
hurry
time.
up.
Fuck, where's all my
He
shit?
grabs his hat.
Stubbs was like, get my hat on.
We have the penis gallery.
Up.
Up.
Where's it?
Up. There they are. They're
No,
still here.
no.
Why don't you say hi, guys, before we cut off?
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
say
What up?
something, y'all.
What up, though?
What's going on?
Who do we got over there? In case they weren't paying attention in the beginning.
It's Toxic, Murder House Records.
Stubbs.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Good
I-
talk. Thanks, guys.
right.
And we're back.
And that's why they're just.
That's
Oh,
why
That's-
they're over there.
That's why they're the penis gallery. Okay,
for,
so
for today only, penis gallery.
Fuck, why is this not load? So we played my music video, "Blood on Your Hands."
Yes.
And then we played "Never Talk to Strangers." It was a scrap song from Natural Born Killers.
Did that project come out?
That project never came out, dude. That had it was supposed to have Class, who's in Underground Avengers. It was supposed to have me, V Sinister. I think Jay Reno was in it. There was a couple other people that were in it, and it never came out. We all took the form of a serial killer. Mine was Ed Kemper. I was the co-ed killer. Ed Kemper. He's a legit serious serial killer.
Right.
And,
We're aware, sir.
Yes.
I didn't know if you knew Ed Kemper. He's kind of a lesser known serial killer.
We read books. We're weird.
So my persona was
You're
Ed Kemper.
smart.
V was like the Zodiac killer. You know, like
No surprise.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was that, and then we played a song by the late homie Stitches. I did a little verse for his project that he passed away before it came out, and it never got heard until tonight. So yeah, fuck yeah, man. That's my homie, man. Miss that motherfucker. So yeah, matter of fact, me and Wicked D, your dad.
Is that my dad? I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
that is your dad,
Thank
yeah.
you for clarifying.
Clarifying for them. Come on. Okay, so we thought Stitches was super talented, man. He used to follow what we were doing. And matter of fact, I actually, come to think of it, I actually have a picture from my in-store, my Broken Mirrors in-store, and he is front and center in that motherfucker. Look at this motherfucker. Let me just change that real quick. Stitches is on the bottom right there, getting my autograph. And there's Staples in there, and then V in the background, the other one. Anyways, much love to that motherfucker. Miss that motherfucker. Anyways, moving on. Where we at?
So we talked about the hatching of the spawn, and then we had a couple calls from Dramadeus, aka Carlos, and then Jay Reno, aka Sadist at the time.
Yep.
Also, Sadist coming up.
Yep.
So,
That's where we at.
so what's the next one?
Next one, what?
So, what is the next project that you're working on after hatching of the spawn? You put out Birth Effects.
I put out
right?
Birth Defects, and I mean, let's
When
be
did
honest.
Broken Mirrors come out?
I mean, I put out Birth Defects in 2002. Broken Mirrors came out in 2004. And let's be honest, Birth Defects wasn't a great album. It was me trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do. And there was in my opinion, there's little moments of genius in there. Like you could
It's your freshman album.
just sprinkled in. There's like little moments of genius. Like,
Right.
dude, if this was more developed, yes, exactly. If it was more developed and he was a better rapper, this might actually be really cool. that's how I feel about that album. You know,
Yeah.
the second album I think was a little bit farther along. A lot of people consider it an underground classic.
I agree. I know a ton of people who just collect your samplers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like, eventually this motherfucker's gonna blow, and if I have all the samplers from back in the day, I'm gonna get
eBay.
paid.
Right. eBay, bitch.
They may be 60 when that happens because the album's just slowed.
Oh, where's
the
it
album
at?
slowed.
There it
down.
is. Oh. Oh,
No,
bro.
it's just because you're putting in so much time and
Yeah,
effort with
you-
other people.
Look, you gotta focus
Look,
on yourself
we-
sometimes.
Hey, we got
Yo,
another call.
We got a call. I don't know who it is. You're live on the air, caller.
Hello.
Caller.
It's the ROC.
Caller. This is the
Oh my God.
ROC.
What up, Brian? How you doing, bro?
What up? How you doing, man?
Man, we're chilling over here with Jay and Heather, keeping it
Hi.
I heard the beautiful ladies was in the house tonight.
real. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetheart.
That's what's up. I just left Arts Beats, and it was packed with people. I got
Nice.
fans.
Always
I'm
is.
hyped.
We're talking about
Hey,
going out there
Brian.
tomorrow, so I'm probably gonna check it out tomorrow. So hell yeah. How was it? Hello? Do we lose him?
I think we're going through a dead zone, B.
He's breaking up a little bit.
Are you in a tunnel? You're losing.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yes.
like, yeah, I am
I'm
in a
in the
tunnel.
I'm in the bathtub. I'm in the bathtub.
Oh, oh,
I'm in the bath. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
So what's
So what's
popping?
going
man?
on?
Man, we're just chilling, getting our drink on, talking about some wicked shit, you know.
That's what's up.
You know the
Yeah,
ropes.
yeah,
You've been down
yeah.
here before.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey,
Yeah.
check it out. I just wanted to call in real quick. I just wanted to, just call in and say what's up to my homies. See how everybody was doing. I'm driving near an awesome Corvette right now. Wish I had one. But anyway, I just wanted to call in just to say what's up, to y'all, and just kind of let my voice be heard a little bit. And just to say, just the whole Wicked 101 thing, and just you as a person, you're an awesome dude, man. You are an awesome cat, and I'm proud to call you my friend.
Man,
My
thank you so
homie.
much, man.
My friend.
I
You know?
appreciate that, bro.
Hey, but dig it though. It's just so crazy because when I first heard, I want to say it's Clockwork Gray, Blaze's Clockwork Gray album.
Yep.
I think that's it. And then the intro,
Right.
I'm like, who the hell? Who is that?
Right.
And then this just voice. It's just, I'm like, that is not him. That is not the voice. The voice. You're born radio podcast intros.
Right.
Radio podcast intros. Awesome. Just awesome.
Thank
so
you.
so cool. And I was blown away by it. But speaking of that this is like dead serious. We're gonna have to link up, and you're gonna have to, jump on some stuff with me and do some things, because I need that.
Look,
I need that.
you got my number, bro. Anytime, man. That would be you're on my bucket list, man. So hell yeah, I would love to do that, man. Anytime, man. Just give me a holler.
We would
We'll
love to
make that
hear it.
happen.
Yeah, make it happen.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Defekt and I have been
you have
following
to.
you for a long time, so it would be awesome to see you two link up.
I have I actually have your autograph, not here because this is an abandoned school, but at the crib I have like a Wormholes poster that has your autograph on it, man. So I've been following you a long time, well even before that, man. But yeah, man, mad respect. I appreciate you calling in tonight. That's really cool. And you're breaking up like a motherfucker, homie. this whole
See,
time.
there's
I've been
no
like
s-
struggling like really hard
There's
trying to
no
listen.
service here.
I've been really
Yeah.
trying to listen. It just goes to show you he's like somewhere deep in the hood, and he's just like trying to call in, and like he's got shit going on. So I feel you, man. But yeah, it's you've been breaking up like a motherfucker.
Yes, absolutely. Y'all welcome. I gotta go. I'm sure I'm probably still crazy breaking up. But anyway, hey man, much love to y'all, and I'll talk soon. All right?
All right, man. Much love. Thank you so much for calling in, bro.
Yes, peace.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
The coolest. Is he not the coolest person in the world?
He's my favorite person in the world. So if you ever listen,
Seriously.
Yeah.
So if you ever listen to our podcast, like there is no one that I put over more than the ROC. You know,
Yes, all the time.
And Defekt, because I talk about him being our podcast guru all the time. But
Yoda.
the thing to me is that
Podcast Yoda.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you're-
listen. You listen to the show.
I listen to the
Oh,
show.
well,
Hell yeah, I
he
listen
has
every
to.
time.
He has to because he's the one who runs it through the stuff and make it all fun for us.
Right.
But to me, there's, you know, no one better in the underground than ROC for me. You know, his voice just rides the beat, and like I've been following him for, you know, it feels like 30 years, you know, but I know
Really,
it's
it's
not
more like
30.
20, but
Yeah. Well, probably like 25, right? Close
Yeah.
to 25.
Yeah.
But it feels like almost my whole life I've been an ROC fan. So
You know, the thing about ROC is this. Everywhere, I've been in all corners of the underground.
right.
Like I've hung out with. You can't name somebody that I haven't interacted with, or had a moment with, or worked on a project with, or did something with, and nobody says anything bad about ROC.
Right.
Everybody has nothing but good things to say about ROC, and man, he's just the coolest motherfucker ever. That's all I can say. We got another caller, so we might as well keep it
oh.
moving.
Oh.
Caller, you're live on the air.
Hello. Hello. Wicked
Hello?
101. Hello.
Oh, they're trying to call again. I must have missed it. Caller, you're live on the air.
Hey, it's Horrorcore's #1 enhancement talent. This is Chamber. What's up, man?
Chamber. God damn, dude. This is like everybody who's anybody is calling in tonight.
Yeah, you know.
I talk to a lot of people.
I see.
You're
You
welcome.
know.
I see. Wow, man.
So how you been? How you been?
Chamber in this motherfucker, man. Can we get a round of applause for Chamber? Jesus Christ.
He's alive. He's alive.
Jesus Christ. So Chamber, man, what's going on?
Nothing much. Getting old. Took a nap so I could stay up and talk to you.
He did take a
That
nap.
is fantastic.
When I was
I'm
telling
an
him
old man.
when I was telling him what time to call in, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to
Past
take
my
a nap."
bedtime.
Like, I gotta take a nap. That's fine, man.
Wow.
I do it for you.
We're actually gonna premiere the track we did together tonight.
Oh,
So
I've
you have
been
to
waiting
stay
so
up.
long.
I know.
Stay
I know,
up.
right? 10 years probably. Every bit of 10 years.
I'm like, I don't even sound like that anymore.
No,
I can't
you
do the
probably
voice.
don't.
I'm getting old. I can't do the voice no more. I can't be scary.
Look, man, here's what happened. So what had happened was I did all these tracks, man, and they didn't really fit on anything, and we took them to. I took all these tracks. It was like 40 tracks, and I sat down with Fritz, my homie Fritz the Cat, and we said, okay, of these 40 tracks, what can we make an album out of this? Can we spruce this one up or spruce that one up? What can we do? What's worth saving and what's not worth saving? And your track obviously was one of the ones that were worth saving, and we went in and we freaked it out a little bit. You haven't even heard it in that final form yet. And
No.
as a matter of fact, it's not even really in a final form because I still haven't mixed the motherfucker. But that was the problem. Is like we narrowed it down to like 10, 15 tracks, and then it was like, okay, well, we spruced them up, and then it was time to mix them. And like I had heard them so many times because it was like 10 years old by that time, you know.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I kind of got bored with it, and I decided to move on to something else, and it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. So tonight we're gonna debut my final walk in the cemetery with Chamber.
Oh,
And
so
I
great.
lo- and
I
actually-
actually have all that stuff too. I listen to it every once in a while. I'm like, one of these days.
You don't have this
Gonna be
version.
complete.
You don't have the final version with Fritz
Oh,
figuring
man.
it out. But look,
But yeah, I do have I do want to show my appreciation to you. I do have a memory. I don't know if it's
uh-oh.
something that a lot of people.
Can we cut his mic real quick?
Well,
I don't know if this is gonna be Matter of fact, I got a little slide I'm gonna put on to show how long we go back. Real quick here. I'm just gonna show this real quick. This, I don't know if you can see this right now yet, but it was you signed this little thing that was actually sitting at the show with the Q Strange, and it said "Stop Bedwetting," and V Sinister and Chamber both signed it, and I've kept it ever since, and it's hanging on the studio wall.
See, that's what's funny is that that's exactly the same story I was about to tell. So.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I told
man.
your story. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I'll build it up. It's kind of like a kind of like a Pulp Fiction thing. We can just go back in time.
Okay.
So what it is that so I got that. Well, the whole story about that is that my ride bailed on me for that show. So I was like, what's the most responsible thing I can do? Let's hop on a chat room, see when someone can hitch me a ride to Grand Rapids. So I drove all night to go to that show with some strange dude. I don't remember his name. He was really cool though.
I've done that before.
I just remember that show. It was so cool. We get there and I remember we were double booked with like this funk band or something like that at the end. They were awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good time.
Yeah, totally.
And then I ended up somehow with you and Q Strange, and then we drove to like this retail store. I can't really remember. I'm 34, 35 years old, so it's kind of fuzzy now, but yeah, just wanted to say that, once I did that, I brought that home, and when I met my wife, I gave it to her kind of like a promise ring thing, kind of just to impress her. I got all these guys' autographs, but I still have it. She has it. She hasn't hung up, so I thought that was pretty cool that we both have that, Oh, so sweet.
Aww. Chamber. I got love for you, man.
Oh.
What are you working on nowadays, man?
We haven't heard from you in forever.
We really haven't.
Yeah.
He started working on shit again, though.
Oh, good.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to answer for you. I was just saying you started working on shit again, so tell us about what you got going on real quick.
Yeah, I just got kind of a hybrid type deal. I kind of dropped the voice a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of just hip-hop, kind of lo-fi hip-hop stuff, mixed in with a little bit of horror. More dark subjects, but not like murder or anything like that. I'm just more evil, spooky guy. You know how
You really sound like a spooky guy right now.
Scary.
Yeah, I'm totally spooky,
I love this dude, man. If you don't know who Chamber is, man, you need to get up on your horrorcore history. Chamber, are you down to do Wicked 101 sometime, man?
I would love to do that. Actually, recently I've gotten in shape. I've lost like 85 pounds, so I'm trying to get in show shape. I'm doing live shows now.
Can you get to Detroit if we set something up? I got a couple guests lined up for the next couple shows, but maybe after the new year we can get Chamber in here and we can do a
yeah, that sounds good,
Chamber.
man.
That'd be fun, man.
Yeah, that would be very fun. We'd have to put a bunch of filler in it because my history doesn't go very, very long.
Well, there's a gap in
like
your history.
10-year gap.
There's a gap, yeah. But we could talk about your early days, and then we could talk about the gap, and then we could talk about the current stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, man, there's a lot of gaps in my story too, bro. I kept working, but 8 years before an album came out, it's fucking been 6 years since I put out an album. Shit happens, man.
Yeah.
Life gets in the way, bro. You know that better than anybody, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially all the great stuff that happened in between then. But, man, that's water under the bridge.
Well, even if we're not promoting your
Weird.
history, we can still promote the future. So,
yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Why not, right?
Yeah,
I cut my long, greasy hair. I'm not emo no more. No lip alters, no nothing like that. It's great.
Did he just say lip alters?
Yeah, totally. I don't know what the hell that was.
Were you
I think I
getting
had
lip
a miniature
injections?
aneurysm or something. I don't know what the fuck a lip alter is, but
I didn't get lip injection. What are you talking about right now?
He was like lip alters. I'm like,
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I was like, is
yeah,
that
I
lip
totally
injections?
I got like a bowl in my lip and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. I got it cooking out though, so I could speak to you, but putting it right back in afterwards.
Wow.
Oh. One last thing though, we were talking about the Natural Born Killers thing. Like, I held on to I made a beat for that a while back, like a long time ago when it first started, and I held on to that so long. I loved it so much, I didn't want to give up on it. And I finally did a song with Hobson. I sent him the song, and I did a song with Hobson and my friend Raven Hunter, and it's actually on Spotify. It's pretty cool. But that's a long-awaited history of that song. I kept that thing for like 4 computers. The hard drive has died, but I saved that for some reason.
And that was originally a Natural Born Killers beat.
Yes, it was. It was a sample from Castlevania. It was pretty dope, and I kept it.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. I mean, I knew you did a track with Hobson. I feel like I've heard that, but yeah, bro. That's a kind of a connect the dots, crazy, like who knew?
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody knew. That's Wicked 101 right there. Well, look, man, we're gonna play your track next. We're gonna play the track I did with you after once we cut to the next break. We'll play that. And
all right, cool.
Thank you so much for calling in, bro.
Oh, it's no problem, man. I heart you, man. I'll watch you now. I'll stalk you. I'll stalk you on the internet now.
We heard you too.
Get back to your show.
Look, bro, you got my number. You know how to get a hold of me. We're going to talk about doing that Wicked 101 episode. For real.
Yeah.
But it's going to have to, it's legit going to have to be after the new year. Maybe after, because I know you're in Indiana, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll figure out once the snow thaws. That way it's not like a crazy drive for you and shit.
Yeah, so like March. Right. No, in Indiana.
Right.
Like March, April.
Right.
All right, man. Well, I'll see you later.
All right, man. Take care, man.
All right. See you.
We got another caller.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit. Hello.
Caller, you're on the air.
Wicked 101. Hello.
I'm on the air right now.
Oh, wow.
You're live.
It's Adam. Or it's Staples.
Oh, shit. I didn't think I was going to actually get on the air.
You watching the show, bro? What's going on?
No, I'm not watching right now. I'm standing in the rain talking to you, man.
Oh.
It's National Defekt Day.
It is.
That's what you do on that day.
Oh, man, you're the coolest, bro.
You catch a cold so you can sound like Defekt.
No, Defekt. You're the fucking coolest.
You don't gotta fluff me like that.
So Staples, why don't you put Defekt over a little bit about all the stuff that you guys have worked on together?
Dear God.
All of it. And go.
Hey, it's too bad a lot of it's been kind of stale. We're kind of hit or miss together. Whenever we work on shit together, it's either really stale or it's really dope. But unfortunately, I think 98% of it's stale.
Oh.
I'm just playing.
Well, thanks for calling in.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. Fuck you too, Staples.
Fake caller.
Nah, for real though, he's right. There were some swings and misses. Like Death Wish. I think. I don't want to sit here and call out my album and tell everybody it was dope, it was whack, but yeah, it could have been better. But
what I'm doing is I'm setting up stories here, right?
Okay, let me just back up.
I don't know if I've told this story the last time I was on the show, because you brought up Death Wish, and that was a great segue. So, you already know where I'm going, right, D?
Do I ever, bro?
Stop me if I said this, because I don't remember. I was a little hammered, I think, the last time I was on the show.
I think we talked about it. Go ahead. It's the roast of Defekt, okay? You can say whatever you want.
It's not a roast.
We went on stage. Defekt and I went on stage.
Broken Mirror's release party.
To play a song called Death Wish off the Broken Mirror's album. And this fucker forgot his lyrics. Completely forgot his lyrics. Not even a hint of them. Not even the first couple words.
Wait, that's your own song?
Dude, I was look, here's what happened. What had happened was I was on stage and I was doing my shit. It was Broken Mirror's release party. Track after track after track. Staples was up there. And the honest to God truth is I was like, what the fuck? I'm on stage with Staples right now? And I had this moment where it was like,
yeah, right.
I was like,
oh my God, I'm starstruck right now.
I was like, and kind of like having this moment, and I just like went blank. I went blank, and I couldn't remember the words. He was hitting my ad libs, and I was still just standing there with the mic in my head, like, I don't know the words.
Well, I'm flattered, D. I'm flattered that I had you shell shocked like that.
That's what it was, bro.
That
I don't
was
think
really-
I ever.
that was
I don't
really
think I ever
detailed.
presented it to you that way, but that's what it was. I think that's what it was. I was like, because I looked up to you guys, and you know, I looked at you guys as being the next big thing in the Wicked shit at the time, and I'm standing up there with you, and you were looking at me like, why the fuck aren't you rapping, you cocksucker?
Well, you know what, man? The next show we do together, and the next show, and it might be like 2024 or some shit.
Oh.
But the next
There's the
show we
time
do
again.
together, we should take another stab at that track.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm down, bro.
Do it.
Let's do it.
All right. We
Let's
need
do
some
it.
Redemption.
Hey, while we got Staples on the line, I'm gonna put up this picture. This is from when we were at that hip hop show, and on the right, it's Staples FaceTiming me from the mosh pit, trying to tell me that
Jesus Christ.
he was trying to tell me I should come down there, and he was freaking out. And then on the left, he had sat on his glasses, and we were just taking a selfie together. That's all that was. But that's me and Staples right there. I just thought I'd show that to everybody while we were talking to Staples.
Nice.
I prepared
Yeah,
some
I'm
slides.
gonna have to go back and see that because I know I think I sent plenty of FaceTime messages to you that night that were all probably pretty comedy.
Yeah, for sure. And I screenshotted one while you were talking to me, and it's gold.
Nice.
Yep.
So Staples, do you remember the first time that you met Defekt?
Oh, the first time. I think it might have been at your house, Jay. And I think it was after an in-store or something like that.
I think it was your in-store.
But we all... What's that?
I believe it was your in-store.
Yeah, well, Bedlam's in-store.
Right, Bedlam's in-store.
And at Hot Hits, right?
Right. He was there too.
Yep. And later that night, Kurt and Capital G got in a fight.
That is true.
You
At my
remember
house,
that?
yes.
Broke Jay's fence.
That is true. The privacy fence.
Yeah. Yep. And Kurt fought the whole time sitting down.
He did.
He did too.
He didn't get off the chair once.
That's real talk.
That's true.
Didn't Anto
I
drive
kinda
Cap
want
back
to
to Saginaw that night?
He did.
Yeah.
You are right. He did. Anto
Yeah.
did.
And Defekt was going, "Why are you guys fighting?" It broke Defekt's heart. He was like, "This is the end of KGP."
Oh my god. That totally didn't happen.
Like, it's all right, man.
Did
They
that
do this all
happen?
the time, man. Don't worry.
He's
They'll be
is he
cool
making
for
that
another
up?
week.
He's making that up. He could have told me that. I would have believed it. He's making that shit
I'm
up.
not making that up. You were done with the whole thing, D.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Going home back to all gray.
I was too drunk to go home that night. Believe me. Wow. That
Yeah.
was perfect.
Yeah,
that was
good night,
perfect.
though.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think after that in-store, we spent like probably 10 hours drinking outside after that in-store.
Yep. Defekt was just a young fella.
He was.
It's true.
Now he's
His voice
old.
was all high pitched.
Oh come on, bro.
His sister.
Where's his? I'm gonna turn his mic off.
His
here.
sister dropped him off.
His sister.
It's National
What?
Defekt Day, September 1st.
I think I borrowed my sister's car. Let's get it right. I borrowed my sister's car and I drove down there.
Can we call your sister? Can we ask her?
If you really
We need
want
verif-
to,
we need
man.
verification.
Confirm that.
Jesus
Thank you.
Christ. A roasted
No, I
defect.
think you're right, man, because you gave us a ride back. You
Yeah.
gave us a ride back to Saginaw on your way to Hog Gray.
Oh, it's a surprise. Bedlam needed a ride back to Saginaw.
Oh.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah, I gave plenty of Bedlam rides back to Saginaw. Believe me, there was.
Yeah, you.
Tell him.
I think we all
I
did.
think I was the official Uber driver of Bedlam before Uber was a thing.
Yeah, we struggled for a minute there.
Yeah.
And now Prozac's on Strange, killing it, and we're still in the underground.
Yeah, he probably has
Birds chirping for a second there.
But Staples just put out a new album. Staples, put your album over.
Yeah.
We played a song from it tonight. I don't know if you were tuned in early enough to see, but I played bath salts before we started.
Oh, nice. Thank you. No, I didn't see it. I'm late getting to the game tonight, but.
Because
You
he's
can watch it
tired.
on
He took a
replay.
nap. Remember?
No, that was Chamber.
Oh,
That was
shit.
Chamber that
Oh.
took a nap.
No, he was doing his birthday party. Mother-in-law
Oh.
birthday party.
Oh.
Next week, actually, here's a little nugget of knowledge for everybody that's watching. Next Saturday, a week from today, I'm actually going to Midland, and we're filming a music video for Staples
Oh, nice.
Nice.
for his new EP.
Damn.
Is
Yep.
there a special song?
We
That
need,
it's for?
we need good weather, though. We can't
Maybe
be
I'll
weather
get a
as
can.
today.
Yeah, we do need a good weather
Because
for
it's
that.
definitely an outside activity.
It is definitely an outside activity. I'm hoping he'll let me make a cameo in it, but right now I'm not necessarily slated to be in it. But
We'll see. You bring up
If it
some audio equipment, D, and we'll see if we can work in a deal.
oh, I see. Yeah, I bring the GoPros. I bring
You
some
bring
other
all the
shit.
equipment.
It's like, oh,
Yes.
we'll let you get a cameo in, you fuck. Sure. Okay. Well, where's this mic? We'll cut it. All right, now I'm playing. No, it's gonna be fun though, man. It's a cool track, and you want to tell them about it at all, or is that too early?
No, I think you kind of summed it up there. I mean, it's a good track. I think the perfect track for the bill we're thinking of. It's going to be hilarious.
That it is.
The end. That's it.
It's for The Equation, which is already out. You can go to
Yeah.
YouTube and listen to that shit right now.
It's on iTunes right now.
It's on iTunes right now. Fuck it. Go to iTunes and buy The Equation. It's fucking dope.
Fuck yeah.
It's a good track. I feel like people are sleeping on Staples.
I agree.
I
I
kind
agree
of
with
feel
that.
like that too, D.
I feel like Staples is like back in the game in a major way, and motherfuckers just don't even realize it. Like, I feel like if people really were up on what you were working on, they'd be like, "Dear God, this motherfucker's back.
Well, I think that
This
there-
motherfucker's back."
I think there's not as many underground shows as there used to be.
Right.
That doesn't help.
Right.
That doesn't help. That's true.
But with
That-
the internet, we
but-
need to
Well,
share
live
this
shows
shit, you
is
know?
always where it's at. I think, and that's always where
Right.
Bedlam shined back
Right.
in the day.
I agree.
I think
Totally.
the peanut gallery. I feel like the peanut gallery was trying to chime in. Let me turn their mics on real quick here.
Penis Gallery, what do you have to say?
Penis gallery. Let's.
I feel like
What do
there's
you guys
not
got?
the amount of underground fans that there used to be that actually come out to shows and stuff.
You are so high
I
right now.
know. It's
We gotta
like
decipher that
What
fucking
the
message.
fuck did you just say,
Jesus.
bro?
he's like speaking French.
I said I don't believe there's
Talking to the mic, man.
I believe there's not as many fans that come out to shows nowadays. They say they're fans, but they don't come out to shows.
Well, they do, but you just don't charge them to get in, so you're not
Oh.
sure.
Oh,
Well,
That's you.
everybody has screens now,
Just
man.
me.
Everybody's watching a fucking screen these days.
yes.
And nobody has to go anywhere anymore. You know,
Right.
they'll wait for
Everybody
somebody
just
to
Facebook
post
Living
it
it nowadays.
live or yeah.
I'm-
So it's a whole different game now, and
Right.
and in a way, it's cool because it does bring some advantages. You know, if we didn't have that technology, we wouldn't be doing this right now, right? But
Right.
at the same time, it kills the live shows is one thing that got sacrificed for sure
Right.
in all the new age shit.
100%.
I agree.
It's sad.
And I think I can honestly say that there wasn't. I think Bedlam definitely did shine live the most, and I don't think that there was any sort of underground show that was happening that was as live as a Bedlam show.
Oh, for
At
sure.
the time, yeah.
Yeah, you know, Kurt had
at the
his.
time.
Kurt came in with his chainsaw,
Chainsaw,
and
yeah.
then they showed up with their masks. You know, and I
Yeah.
don't think anybody was doing it as big as Bedlam at the time, and I think that they really had the opportunity to blow.
I believed it with all my heart, dude.
I did too.
I thought they were the next big thing. I really did.
I did too. I was all in on Bedlam.
And
This show isn't about Bedlam though. This show's about Defekt.
it's true.
We got it.
Defekt. You know what? I should have. I could have tied this all in with some pictures of Defekt at Bedlam shows.
Do it.
And they are hilarious.
You can send
And
them
I
via the
did try to
Facebook.
find them, but I couldn't.
I think
Oh,
I have
damn,
a
it
picture
should've
of
been a perfect
Defekt
time.
like near Bedlam at gathering in Novi.
Who
Just
knows?
near that, just near them.
Yes, I
Yeah.
was back in the day.
I have
Yeah.
pictures from Jamestown, from the Jamestown show, with in the background,
But he was on that show.
fucking losing his mind. It's funny. He wouldn't have showed it anyway. If I would have sent it to him, he wouldn't have showed it.
Probably not.
Fuck you,
Right.
dude.
Yeah, but
I
Defect's not
saw it.
running this show.
Yeah, it's
We
true.
are, so we would have put it up.
Yeah.
It's true.
So you can send that to the
Well-
Best Friend Show. We will post all of those photos.
Correct.
Thank
That's
you.
true. So maybe I can still try to find something and send it.
Fuck yeah. Do it.
Dear
Don't
God.
shake head. Don't shake head. Defect.
Yeah. The roast of Comedy
Oh,
Central roast of
shut
Defect.
the fuck
Oh,
up. Whatever.
everybody said how much
Oh.
they loved you,
It's
Mr.
true.
Extra.
We do. And that's how I gotta close it. That's exactly how I gotta close it, D. Because we do love you. No homo, but we fucking love you.
It's okay if it
Thank
is
you
homo.
for
There's
everything
nothing
you
wrong
do.
with it.
The show, the music, the support. It fucking goes for miles, man. It's endless. So, again, thank you, man. And we love you. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you, man. No homo. I love you too.
All the homo.
right,
It's
don't
okay.
start-
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's the last time I'm gonna say that shit to you. So don't expect me to say it again.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got it.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week, bro. Thanks for calling in, man. We love you.
All right, man. All right, thank you guys.
Yep. Peace.
Peace.
We had another caller that was calling in, but we were talking to Adam all.
Look at you. You a
Staples.
goddamn
Staples.
superstar. Look at this shit.
Apparently, man. Maybe we should. I don't know. Is homie gonna call back again? Yeah, or...
No.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But
Where were we in the story anyway? Like we keep getting sidetracked with all these callers, but
I think it's a good sidetrack.
it is a great sidetrack.
yeah.
Let's just recap. We talked to Chamber. We talked to Dramadeus, Cellar Mannequin Carlos.
Jay Reno, there you go.
Jay Reno.
Get him. Get him.
Caller, you're live on the air.
Hello. Wiki
Hello?
101.
He's got to make a dramatic entrance.
Hello?
He had to put his
What's
tight
up?
shirt on real quick. What's up, bro?
Welcome to the kingdom.
How you doing?
Doing good, man. You come to the Comedy Central roast of Defect.
Right.
The comedy what?
Exactly. The Comedy Central roast of Defect.
Comedy Central roasted defect. You mean a Wicked Underground roasted defect?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just all love.
Exactly.
All love.
It's all love.
Love.
He's like, nah, I don't know
I
about
don't
that.
know.
So what's your
Y'all might
favorite?
feel me too much, and I'm gonna have to hurt some feelings.
So what's your favorite Defect memory, V?
My favorite defect memories, shit, it's a lot of them, man.
PG-13,
let me
please.
think.
Just so you know, there's multiple people in this room, including Defect's girlfriend.
So PG-13,
So
please.
Yeah,
So any
I
sort
know,
of stories, just please.
All the
I gotta be
X-rated
real
ones
careful.
are V Sinister stories, okay?
You're like, that tight shirt's nice. I like it. Bow
No,
chicka wow wow.
No.
Well, you said they're all X-rated. And you're
No.
talking about
Who-
me.
who
Like,
like-
I don't know.
Who liked the tight shirts?
You did.
The
Like
one of
spandex
the,
is your middle name.
One of the memories, real quick, I want to share. I think it was probably when we did the show, opened up with Esham Acid. Was it the Acid Rain show?
Acid
the
Rain
A1
tour,
Yolo
yeah.
release party.
Well, we did Acid Rain tour, and then you did Acid Rain tour. I did the A1 Yolo release party.
Yeah, and that was when you lost your mind, like you ain't had no goddamn sense.
Hey, cut. Let me censor you right there. You don't need to tell the whole story.
I'm not, dude.
You don't need to tell him what I did. Just stop.
So some shit
Stop.
went down.
Stop right
No,
there. This is the
no,
first. I'm gonna mute your mic, man. I'm gonna mute your mic.
Yeah, hold on, give me 1 second. Can I get a number 10 meal line? I mean, right with no ice. Yep, be ordering food before going in.
Oh my God, bro.
Really? All right.
Yep,
That was a light thing,
yep, that's it.
Let me get a large drink too.
correct?
Nope,
A
right
double
with no
burger
ice.
with cheese.
He's ordering a fucking meal right now. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Hey, anyway, going back on, you don't want me to tell them about how
you
you
do
was up
that
there
on a
wigging
bike?
out, flipping out. We almost got into it.
Oh, brother, we don't need to go down that road, bro.
All right, well, let's pick something more positive.
Please, that was not my most shining moment. Okay, I'm
Okay,
not. I'm
let's
not
talk
proud
about
of it.
your shining moment at the Ludacris show when you got the girls and crowd behind you, and everybody was booing me, throwing nickels at me.
Look, man. Here's how that went down.
What had happened was.
What had happened was, I got a call saying, bro, I don't know how to tell you this, but you're not gonna be the hype guy for the Ludacris show. After,
Hey, you know that wasn't my call, right?
After I already thought, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be opening for Ludacris. What are you talking? What word? What? And then I got a call saying, yeah, we're not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go up there by myself. And then I'm at work the day of, and I get a call saying, bro, can you be up here in an hour? And I left work. I said, fuck work. I'm going to the Ludacris show. We're opening for fucking Ludacris.
Yeah.
I was like, I went to my boss and I was like, bro, I'm opening for Ludacris tonight. You need to fucking let me out right the fuck now. I need to go. And it was like, all right, done. And that's what happened. And then he did half the show by himself. And he was dying up there. He was dying. V, tell him you were dying.
Yeah, the reason why was because the manager.
Yes, I was dying. That's what you needed to say. I was dying up there. Say it. Say it. I was dying up there.
Are you serious?
I'm just
okay, go ahead and cancel that because I don't got time to fix it right now. Sorry about that. All right.
He's still ordering his meal. He's still ordering his meal.
His meal's fucked up.
This
man.
is Wicked 101
up,
right
man.
here, man. Okay.
Anyway, I'm dying up there because manager at the time wanted me to do some metal at a Ludacris show. I knew how ridiculous that was going to be, but I was like, all right, he made it happen. And basically got to kind of follow the lead right now because he the one that made the Ludacris show happen. So the guitarist that came up there, when we first started the show, he hit his first lick. That crowd said, boo. I was like, oh, this is going to go south fast. I'm going to cut through all the bullshit because this is all about Defekt. So Defekt finally shows up.
Whoa. You presented like I was late. I was not late. I was standing to the side of the stage waiting for my cue because I was only allowed to do half the show.
I did not know that because I was up on stage getting killed. So I didn't know that. Anyway, they tell us that we need to extend the time a little bit because I guess Ludacris was running late or whatever. So I'm like, okay, all I got is all this wicked shit that the manager did not want us to do. And I'm like, we probably would have been better off doing. So we do the wicked shit and get a better response. But the whole time Defekt is up on stage, I'm on the left side of the stage and he's on the right side of the stage and he has like a whole crowd of girls all into him, waving their arms and everything. I'm like, this motherfucker.
It's true.
Man, this supposed to be my shining moment and he got the crowd and I'm getting booed like shit, man. I'm like, fuck this, man.
It's true, man. I got on stage with V and all of a sudden I feel like the tides started turning. It wasn't a full-on 360, but I started kind of reeling them in a little bit and warming them up. Would you agree?
Man. Like I said, I'm trying to remember something that was all about you and everything, but a lot of the memories I'm tied into too. And like I said, it ain't about me. It's all about you right now. So, I mean, those are two things that stand out, especially at that A1 Yola release party too. That one, to find the moment, Defekt wigging out, he flipping out. I'm like, dude, come on, man. You can't do this right now.
Look, we don't need to talk about that, man. I try to tell you, we need to not talk about
It's
that.
all good. Dude, it's all good, man.
But
Trust
look,
me.
after
ain't no hard feelings and no animosity towards you. You know that, man.
Let me.
He had plenty of.
That's my brother, man. V Sinister's my brother all day long, man. To the end of time, we're
I remember
brothers.
one time we was going to the gathering, and the way they booked the gathering, you know, at the time when everything was all good, the way they booked the gathering, me and Defekt was supposed to play back-to-back, so we was going to make it a super set, long, 40-minute, almost an hour thing of we just trading back and forth our songs, and then Sutter Kane bitched up. I guess Sutter Kane ended up getting, like, the very first performance of the gathering. His ego was going way off the meter, and he ain't like that, and he made a big fit about it. But it was like, you know what? Defekt, he could take Sutter Kane place, and Defekt ended up opening up the whole gathering. I was like, that's some bullshit, man.
But I did it.
Oh yeah, you did it, man.
I went up there and I did it. I didn't, and I
Probably with no complaint.
no complaints. I went up there, took my time. I was that particular year. It was super hot. We got up to the gate, and it was like, I'm about to go on in like 10 minutes. I need you to drive me up there. I had somebody from the psychopathic go-karted me to the stage, and I went up before half the crowd was even in the grounds.
Right.
And it was so hot that I damn near had a heat stroke. Michelle was there. She remembers. She fucking remembers. That was 2007. And honestly, I probably would have died had Michelle not went and got me water. That's really the reality of it. But that being said, I want to go back to what we were talking about with the Ludacris show just for a second. Do you remember?
All right, for a second, because I got to step in, but go ahead.
Do you remember us going to like McDonald's or Burger King after the Ludacris show? Do you remember what happened?
No, only thing I remember, I was mad as hell, was talking to Troy, and I was like, fuck Saginaw. I never do anything for Saginaw again. They're going to sit there and treat me like that.
Dude, everywhere we went in Saginaw after that. Everywhere we went.
We went to the club. No, we went to JB Meinberg's after that. I remember now we went to JB Meinberg, and we was up there getting a lot of love in the club. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers was showing that up on stage, man. They was up there talking about that. It was awesome. That was different what you did with the metal. I like that. I'm like, yeah, y'all should have screamed a little bit louder, because I remember getting hit in the arm with a nickel and some ice and everything, and y'all loving my homeboy a little bit better than me, and the girls loving him, and I'm like, man, y'all just treat me like a red-haired stepchild.
I remember going to like McDonald's or Burger King or something, and somebody be like, they totally recognized me, but they didn't recognize you. Because I was driving like, oh, wasn't you on stage with at the Ludacris show? And you're like, yeah, so was I.
Man.
Oh my God, dude. That was hilarious. But
like
anyway,
I said,
man.
I wanted to call in real quick because I got to step in. And, yeah, unfortunately, business I'm doing, yeah. Y'all already know what it is and everything. I wanted to get too detailed, but just wanted to call in and try to share some positive Defekt moments and everything. It depends on how long y'all on the air, if I get a chance to call back in or just stay in the chat room. But little brother got to go. Holla at you later. Sorry I missed it, but we already talked about it weeks in advance, and it's something that couldn't be helped to avoid.
All right, man. I love you, man. Have a good night.
Thanks, V.
I love you too, dude. Later.
Do we have any other people?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll let's open it up to the public to call in. For
Yes,
a bit.
please.
We can maybe see if anybody else wants to call in and talk with us.
Because it's like one more minute until 10 o'clock, but I don't think we're.
No, I don't think we're done.
We're not done. No.
Yeah, we're not
We didn't even get past the broken mirrors there. Oh shit, we still got a whole era to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Are you guys
go
cool?
ahead.
Yeah,
We're gonna need a refill here in a minute, though.
Well,
I need a
then
refill.
you can
Yeah.
play some shit, and then we can.
No, well,
pee
let's
and
take
rip.
a couple calls first, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll come back.
Yeah,
So
we
if you
done.
see the
Alright.
number on the screen, 734-430-0549. So a
In
lot
case
of people.
you didn't hear, 734-430-0549.
So a lot of people
Whoa.
from our show talk about wanting to call
Whoa.
in and talk to us. So let's see if that happens.
Now's your chance. Call
So-
and talk to the best friend podcast girls.
Right.
Man. Hell yeah.
So if you like us or Defekt, you can call in.
And Peanut
hang
Gallery,
out.
you're still
Penis
live.
Gallery.
Your
God
mics are
damn
still
it.
on.
Hello,
Chime
Penis
in.
Gallery.
Tim, while we're talking about all, we've talked to everybody in the underground tonight except for you. Let me cut your camera here. Hold on a second here.
We're gonna look at you guys.
We're gonna.
Subs, get your hat.
You ready? Ready? Flip it. Flip it.
There
Sup,
we go.
bitches?
So, yeah, Tim, do you got any Defekt stories, man? Why don't you school us?
Your turn.
We met in what, 2005?
It was either 2004 or 2005. But the
Tell
only
it.
story I got is
Tell
about
them.
walking through Taco Bell drive-thru all drunk,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't serve us food.
Nice.
So we got some lady to order us some food, but then they started yelling at her, told her that she couldn't order us food and stuff like that. So we went back and then drove back up there drunk to get our Taco Bell.
Nice.
We were trying to do the right thing.
I know, right?
We were trying
Taco
to
Bell
not drive
supports
drunk.
drunk driving.
You guys didn't get pulled over, right?
No.
Tell them what happened at the first show that I did with y'all.
Oh, the show was terrible. Like,
Well, tell them what happened when I showed up.
the audio was all fucked up. Like, Mike Carey Music rented us some equipment that was all bunk. None of it, half of it didn't even work. So, Defekt had to try to come in and save the day.
He's the guy to do it.
Oh,
I
yeah, for sure.
literally tore down the entire
And had to try to rewire it in
PA
between
system
sets.
and rewired the entire thing during the set because they
Like-
had the power going through the snake, which you
Yeah, it
don't
was
do.
all kinds of.
It was so
it was all
fucked
kinds
up.
of messed up.
It was so fucked
But
up.
at least you tried to save the day. It was too late.
And then everybody was mad at me because it still sucked after that.
It sucked to begin with. So
All you can do is try.
I wasn't mad at you, Defekt.
I think Downriver Rat was mad at me.
People get mad, but they get over it.
Yeah.
You tried to save the day.
But look,
You did all you could.
If anybody wants to call in, 734-430-0549, here's your chance.
Yes, it's Saturday night. We are hanging out. We are drinking. So we want to hear all the Defekt stories. Or if you actually listen to the Best Friend Show podcast, you can ask us questions. We can all answer. We can all hang out and have a good time.
We know
I
it's
feel
not
like
our
you
normal
haven't,
night.
you haven't chimed in enough, but you've been killing it on the sound effects.
I know. Like it's that. Look, this is
sound effect
about
button's
you.
cool.
This is about you. But it's hurting me a little bit. I love to talk. I love to fucking freak out on some shit.
Right.
So
So
I'm so quiet.
Now's your chance. Ask as many questions as you want.
Okay, Defekt. What is your favorite? As a child, what is your favorite cartoon?
That's a left field question. Let me think about it
Look,
for a
this
minute.
is how I
Great
roll.
question.
Okay, I need to know.
My favorite cartoon as a child or
As a child,
as
no.
an adult?
Nope, as a child.
Okay, as a
Like,
child.
Yes.
Fuck, man. When I was really, really young, I was repping He-Man. When I was really
That is
young.
completely okay. Yes.
And then as I got a little bit older, it was Ninja Turtles, 100%.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
And then it was like, as I got a little bit more mature when I was like, just Ren and Stimpy.
when he got let me rephrase. He said when he got more mature,
Right.
It was Ren and Stimpy. Continue. This is not a roast. This is you giving me
That
facts.
is awesome.
It's facts.
He probably had his
You know,
own
it is
log
okay.
toy.
Did
I
you
had a what?
did you have a log?
From
Was it
Ren
log?
and Stimpy.
No,
No,
I did.
no.
You
I had
did.
the- I had
I
the-
knew you did.
I
I
had
didn't
the-
even know that was a thing.
No, I had the
Yeah.
log cereal.
It's
Do you have
big
the log
and heavy
cereal?
in wood.
It rolls downstairs.
You gotta understand, I lived in a small town. Like, we didn't get all the cool shit.
You still got the TV channel with
We got the
fucking
TV
shit.
channel,
Okay.
but we didn't get, like, the cool toys and shit.
Yeah, but it was
right?
called log. It's legit a log,
Log.
of wood.
Bro, you couldn't win
Like
in the backyard.
its hook was it's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
It's log. I
Like,
know
it's
the song.
literally-
Like,
He's
yeah,
like, I know
yeah.
the fucking
I know the
board
song,
shit.
but, like, I didn't know there was, like, a toy specifically called
I didn't
log.
get
There was.
well nowadays. So as an adult, you can purchase these stores if you go to your box lunches or your Hot Topics. There are logs for purchase.
Right.
You know
Okay.
where else you can purchase things? Collar and Elbow.
Collar and Elbow. Who?
Go ahead, do it.
So they sponsor our podcast, Collar X
Yes.
Elbow. You can go there and purchase some fine line. It's a wrestling gear, wrestling clothing line.
But you
it's
can be
not
anybody.
wrestling gear. You can be
No,
anybody.
no,
You can wear it. The
no.
shirts are super awesome.
Defekt needs
super
a collar and
soft.
elbow.
Yeah,
shirt.
it's
I'm
Collar
going to
X.
go there tonight and buy something.
Yeah,
Super soft.
collarxelbow.com. Use our promo code Best Friend Show Podcast and get 10% off your order.
And they're not an official sponsor, but you can always check out Zubaz. And Zubaz is an amazing pair of comfortable pants that you can check out. They have all kind of different clothing.
That is correct.
Yes.
So
and
that's
you can-
all we're going to promo today
Yes,
because fuck
yes.
Blue Apron.
Yeah.
Continue
fuck-
on.
fuck
What
Blue
happened with
Apron.
Blue Apron?
I don't
Nothing, but we're just not making any money off Blue Apron.
Yeah, no. So yeah, so after Ren and Stimpy, I need to know. Like, okay, so as an adult, let's call you an adult. Okay, so as of now,
Let's
what-
call you an adult.
let's be honest. All of us, we have that cartoon that go to. I'll be honest. I have two of them. I have Rick and Morty, and I have Bob's Burgers. What is your go-to
Awesome.
like cartoon?
Lately, nothing's really grabbed me lately, to be honest.
Mine is SpongeBob always.
I mean, SpongeBob is cool, but
I
I
love
wouldn't
SpongeBob.
say I have like a cartoon like right now today. I don't have a cartoon. That I'm really
Okay, let me
grabbing.
phase this off. Not a cartoon, Netflix. What is your go-to on Netflix? What do you watch?
Fuck, man, I've been watching. I love Stranger Things. That was
Yes.
cool. I love Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul.
Good shows, totally.
We've been watching Game of Thrones now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is, like, for me, like, I'm only like on season 5 right now.
Okay.
That's fine.
Because I gotta watch it with my girl. Because if I watch it ahead of her, then it's basically like cheating.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I gotta watch it with her, and she was recently held up for a couple days, so we watched like 2 seasons worth. But yeah, I'm still on season 5.
No, it's completely okay because side story is I've already seen Game of Thrones, but I'm like, I told the old man, I'm like, you gotta watch it. So
Right.
I've got him in it, and now we're on season 2. So
Right.
it's okay. I understand.
The thing about it is, I got like 8 episodes in, and I was like, I need to turn around, start over again. 'Cause
There's
I was
so many people,
lost.
dude.
I was so lost
It's like
after
Pulp
8
Fiction.
episodes. I was like, I don't know who's important, who's not important,
Right.
what the fuck is going on. I had to turn around, stop, and rewatch it with my girl.
Yep.
And
who the fuck is
now
this?
we're like 5 seasons in. I feel like I still need to turn around and rewatch it again, and
Start
like
from
continue
beginning
on again, just so I know what the fuck is going on.
You
There's
have
so
to have
much
your
going
internet.
on.
You need Google at all times. You're like, who the fuck is
Yeah.
this?
I feel like there should be a companion app where you can be like, okay, this person is this person. Oh, okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
Well, there
Okay.
are companion podcasts that you can listen to
Right.
that help to explain more
Right.
into the story because
Or-
they actually read the books as well.
Yeah, they're fucking books. There's books out there. What is your favorite book? Have you ever
Read
read?
books? I don't
know.
have time to
Oh my
read
God.
books.
Look, I'll be
Did
honest.
you just start to say, have you ever read a book?
Yeah, I did. And he
I've read
said,
books.
You know how many
I fucking
electronics
did
books he's probably read?
I've
Like
read a lot
how
of
to
books.
hook shit up.
I've read a lot of technical books
how to
about
put a
recording
fucking
studio,
yeah.
this, that, and the other thing. But like to sit down and read a story, like I just don't have the time, man. Like I worked on this show tonight for like 4 or 5 weeks.
I completely
We
believe
know. We've
you.
seen all
I
the
know.
tests.
Dude,
God love ya.
I bought this new equipment. You can't even tell that there's new equipment, but I bought new equipment so
It's-
that it'd make it easier for me.
it's
I've
really
actually made it
fancy.
harder for me. But to learn all that shit and get it dialed in, man, I spent like 5 fucking weeks just getting ready for the show. And
You're a perfectionist. I've
He
just
is
yeah.
100%.
and that's the thing. Honestly, like actually hanging out with him, like I hung out with him at Astronomicon and then here, but knowing I'm like, bro, dude, you're like, I thought I was a perfectionist. Defect's a fucking
Try helping him.
perfectionist.
Try helping him set up his equipment at Astronomicon.
fun fact, we got the press room logo
oh.
from Astronomicon
Oh.
sitting behind
Oh.
Tim there.
Do you have something to say, Stubbs?
I keep
No.
it. I keep it.
No.
Just laughing at trying to help Defekt set up equipment. Just,
You are so high right now, man. Like, are you on another planet right now, bro?
I'm just glad he's awake.
Right.
I'm glad he's
There was
alive
there
right
was
now.
a moment I think he was sleeping.
He was sleeping. I
think he
pointed him
was.
out.
Yeah.
At one point,
He,
yeah.
look, he totally fucking knows.
He's like, I was.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
no
It's
lie.
okay. Yeah.
No lie.
But
Alright.
Tim was the big security guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, we were security too. Us.
We
Front
just
gate
we
security.
just check bags.
Top flight. At a
top
world.
top flight security of the world.
Side note, we're going to go to Holy Moly Donuts tomorrow, and I'm super excited.
Nice.
We are.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Tim was the big guy we called, you know, if we needed something taken care of at Astronomicon.
That is true.
It's 10:22. We're 20 minutes over already.
It's okay. We're hanging out with everybody. We're here. We're hanging out. I never come to Detroit. I'm super excited to hang out with everybody. I
True.
see them once a year, twice,
Right.
Maybe.
technically. But then everybody, whether it be the Best Friend Show podcast or Defects, Wicked 101, fucking we're all hanging out. It's Saturday night. Come drink with us.
And we just debuted some
Oh my
crazy
God,
shit,
some
bro.
wicked shit, man.
We debuted my final walk through the cemetery. It was Defekt featuring Chamber, and never heard before tonight.
Dude.
Lost track in the vault, man. And we also debuted Evil Lives featuring Scum and Bad Mind. Never heard before tonight.
It's all lost. Why is it lost?
I don't know.
But it's amazing. So we should keep hearing that. All of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All the things.
All of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What'd you guys think? Man, call in, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah. Look.
guys
Call in. Look.
We haven't had anybody call since V. Nobody's called. Nobody cares.
Well, I feel like the phone line's been very busy. It's been popping.
It's true, but we didn't even have the number on the screen until after all of our special guest callers called in.
Ooh,
Right,
that wasn't
so-
our fault. That was your fault.
No, I did it on purpose because I didn't want.
Well, then
Fair enough.
Then it was only on for like 3 minutes before we took a break. So I feel like if
So
we can cover some more things, like we really only got to broken mirrors.
Yes.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna sit back and go.
All right. So where were we? So we released Broken Mirrors. It had Defekt. Of course, it had Defekt. It had V Sinister. It had V Sinister, Staples, and KGP on there. And matter of fact, I have while we're talking about it.
Oh,
I
we
do
love.
have
I
a-
love photos.
You like my keynote? that I
Fuck
got
yeah.
going on?
It's a PowerPoint. Remember, we were gonna do a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, we've got PowerPoint. This is the promo flyer for Broken Mirrors, 2004.
Who wouldn't want to listen to that?
Yeah. That actually, to tell you about that picture, it was actually in Dirty Z's basement. He had this really cool walk-in shower, and we're like, dude, if we just fill it with like blood, like
Yeah.
fake blood, and it was actually Relic's Justin, part of Hospital H, his girlfriend at the time, acting dead.
It looks like you're in like a high school, like one of them high school fucking.
No, that's
you know.
it. That's in a house basement, and it was actually a
It's
really
even
cool
creepier.
shower. I wish I had a shower as fresh as that, to be honest. This is kind of like an alternate take we did. That's your dad, Jay.
Is that my dad?
That is your dad. Yeah.
Aw.
Thanks for pointing it.
And we got Dirty Z in the corner there. Yeah. Yeah. Here's a random slide of me and Q Strange, since I'm just kind of going through slides right now.
So can I
That's
I
fun.
ask a question? Where is that? Is that
That's in Grand Rapids, right
okay?
there.
Okay.
That was the show Chamber was talking about that he
Oh,
got
okay,
a,
cool.
that he got a random
Cool.
ride to.
Yep. I mean, yeah. She's on top of shit. She knows her,
What,
she knows
what-
her history.
what is Q Strange doing right now?
Oh, man, I wish he would record. I was trying to get him on Wicked 101.
I think Possessive is one of my favorite songs ever.
Dope. Super dope. That was the track that kind of got me into him, man. Super cool dude, man. He's supposed to be on Wicked 101 at some point, but things just haven't worked out.
I miss him.
I miss Q Strange too. And here's 2010 Gathering of the Juggalos. This is V Sinister holding his sword. Tim remembers this.
Yeah.
Tim, you want to chime in a little bit? You were there.
Yeah, I was there. What was that? What year did you say?
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
The top left corner is actually me and Tim. He was my hype man. We played the second stage as Defekt. And then right after that, I went to the main stage and hyped for V Sinister. And the middle bottom was the crowd right before we went on. That was actually Class's crowd. Class opened up that.
Didn't they want to take his sword away at the
They
gathering?
wanted to take his sword. It was a whole debacle, man. It was a whole debacle, man. It was. They were like, okay, well, you can use it as a stage prop, and then you got to give it back to us till the gathering's over. And so that was him with his sword, and I was like, whatever, dude. You fucking lunatic, bro. He was a lunatic, man. You don't understand what I went through with V. He was straight up a lunatic. Here's another track that I think Jay was at this show here. This is Staples, V, ROC, and me. I just like this picture. I just wanted to show it because I like it. That's all. Nothing really else to report other than that.
That's the last picture.
I have plenty of pictures, but we're gonna cut back. I have plenty. I put a bunch of shit in there in case we were talking about shit. I could like.
Well, but when would that come up? That's more recent, right?
That was way more recent. That was like a couple months ago.
Yeah. So like we're still at
Irrelevant.
broken.
We're still at Broken
in
Mirrors.
Broken
yeah.
Mirrors.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. Okay, so Broken Mirrors came out. It made a little bit of noise. Then I kind of like went into this phase where I was like, I don't really know what the fuck I want to do. I wasn't really feeling confident with anything I was making. I wasn't really, it wasn't feeling right. So I kind of went through this phase, and it took fucking 8 years for me to put out an album because I moved 5 times. I changed jobs like 3 times. I went through a breakup. You know, there was all kinds of shit that happened in my personal life.
So
that,
I'd like to intervene that one of my favorite
Nope,
songs
don't
that you
say it.
did
Don't ever say
was
it.
was during that time, and you know
Okay.
what song it was, and
Yeah.
I wish that someday that song will come out, which I don't think it ever will, but
It
one of my
won't.
favorite songs
No.
that you've ever done in my life.
Well, a version of it came out.
She said.
I'll drink this solo cup, sir.
A version of it came out on my dissection.
Cool. Okay.
Awkward.
Yep.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Go
Continue
ahead.
on.
Restore.
So, anyways, where was I?
About the favorite song of mine that
Yes.
came out. I'm not allowed to talk about, but one day you will be released.
Talk about it if you want to talk
No,
about it.
no,
shit.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm bitter.
Look, it's officially after 10 o'clock, so
All
anything
bets
can
are
be
off.
said.
All
No,
bets
it's
are off.
fine. I
10:30.
won't talk about it. You're my family. If you don't want me to talk about it, I won't talk about it.
Okay. So look.
But I want to. Continue on.
Okay.
And go.
Go ahead.
You're like my sister, man.
I know.
I know. And I'm like your brother.
That's what I call you, my brother.
Yes.
Brother and sister.
Yes. Continue on.
Thank you.
You should put it out.
Awkward. Okay. So anyways, Broken Mirrors came out. We made a little noise. Where was I? Then time just kind of like escaped me. I was working and working and working and working. I was making music. We actually recorded an entire album for my roommate, the Hybrid. You know him as Dave Adams. Dave Adams is an important part to the puzzle. I feel
Right.
like
I agree.
he's worth mentioning here because Dave was my biggest fan.
He was.
He was my biggest fan. He had a Birth Defects tattoo on one arm and a Broken Mirrors tattoo on the other arm, and he was my biggest fucking fan. And honestly, I don't know if I would be here right now if it wasn't for Dave.
Right.
Because had he not been a fan and saying there was some value to what I was doing, I don't know that I would still be doing it. So
Everybody needs that little push sometimes.
look, man, here's what I was trying to explain to somebody the other day. If her dad didn't come along
Right.
and invest his time, his money, his power into me, I don't know that I would still be doing this.
Right.
Cause I was at a point where I was like, okay, I'm making these tracks, but are they really, is there really something here? Or is it just me making tracks? Is it just some dude in his basement? Or is there something to this? You know what I mean?
Right.
And
sometimes as an artist, you tend to overthink.
Well,
a lot
you
of
start
times
to doubt
and stuff
yourself.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So when her dad came along and said, "Hey man, I want to start this label with you, and I think you got the talent to do it and whatever," that meant the world to me, and I was like, okay,
Right.
I think maybe I can do this shit then. And he started putting his money into me. He started putting his time into me. He started putting all this shit into me. His family sacrificed shit because of me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't take for that. I never took that for granted. You know what I mean? And that meant everything to me. That meant, fuck, I got to keep going. I got to do this because if they're investing their time into me, I need to keep going. I need to
Right.
keep doing this shit because apparently I got something. Maybe I'm not 100% there, but I got it. Something. There's something here. There's a reason this motherfucker's investing this
Right.
time into me. You know what I mean? And that was the same thing with Dave Adams. It was like, when he came along, he started supporting me. I mean, from day one, really. But him being there, it was the motivation to keep going. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's another old school fan, AJ. He used to write me from fucking overseas, bro. I still have the fucking letters. This motherfucker used to write me when he was in the army overseas, and
Really?
fighting a fucking war, and he'd be writing to me, and I was like his link to the real world. You know what I mean? And I still have these fucking letters, man. And that type of shit was the shit that said, dude, you need to keep going.
Right.
There's maybe you're not developed yet. Maybe you're not God's gift to the mic. I'm really not. But there was something there. You know what I mean?
As long as there's somebody out there listening, it makes it worth doing it.
Right.
Yep.
And it was that's where that one killer came from. You
Yep.
know what I mean? It was these random motherfuckers that would show up at shows and be like, man, that new track you did was dope, and blah blah fucking blah, and I got your album and I got your shirt and blah blah blah, and I'm here from fucking Indiana, and what the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're damn, man, thank you. You know
That
what I
one
mean?
killer and Would They Notice is the songs that
Bro,
got me into your music.
Look, the thing about it is, if it wasn't for these motherfuckers
Yep.
early on, I'd probably not be doing this right now. That's
Right.
the honest to
Yep.
God truth. I really, really, truly mean that, because it was like, Wicked D, he put so much into me. His whole family did, you know what I mean? And I never took that for granted. I feel like maybe at some point they might have thought I took it for granted. I never took it for granted. And, you know, with
so to be clear, like, I don't think anybody in my family thought that ever. Like, everybody, so all of us, all my brothers and sisters, you know, we all consider you like a brother, period. And you always put into your family no matter what's happening. So regardless of if you took a break or you weren't putting out anything, you know, it's like, we really love you and we really care about you and where you were going. So it was like, there was never a point where we were like, you know, we should drop Defekt or we should move forward or we should sign someone else. It, like, that never happened. Like, you were the label, you know, like, to Widowmaker, you are ICP. Like, ICP to Psychopathic, you are, you know, Defekt to Widowmaker. Like, that's who you are. Like, you are who the label is, and everything would have been built around you. So I don't want you to ever think that we ever doubted you or, you know, didn't care about that. Like, you're our brother, and that's it. You're our family.
Yep.
Oh,
Give him a round of applause.
Yeah, just clapping.
The thing is, though, Defekt is very, very humble.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Just like, legit, this is my, you know, second time actually physically hanging out with him. And it's like, I know. It's like, he's the type of person that he's behind the scenes. You know, he wants to help everybody out, but he's done so much for so many other people. He's one of the good ones.
He mixed one of our whole entire albums for food.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a good guy. Like, come on.
We were in the studio working. My
Yeah.
wife was in the kitchen cooking. Like, we got done in the studio and came out and ate some good ass food.
And that shit turned out dope, didn't
Oh,
it?
100%. I still get compliments to this day on that album.
The collaboration, man.
Well, it's he understands the struggle.
Right.
You know,
oh, for sure.
You know, that's the thing, is that I feel like there are some people that have kind of like snaked their way around and never really struggled.
Right.
You know, and then there's people who stuck it out and they've done the grind and they've continued and they've, you know, earned their spot wherever they are in the underground.
A lot of
and they've
people
done
don't-
it honestly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about standing at Kinko's for like 7-8 hours, printing up flyers and all
I
that
do.
stuff. Yep, 100%.
I do.
Yep.
Right.
I do.
It's all about
Just to
paying
go pass,
dues,
just to
you
go
know?
pass them out for people to throw them on the ground.
Absolutely. Like, like, no shit, at the gathering, there was people who fucking threw Defekt samplers on the ground. Like, I picked that shit up and we handed it out.
Hand it
later
out to the
again.
next person.
Yeah, like,
Money,
that shit's
man,
too
fuck.
expensive for you to throw it on the ground, motherfucker. It's getting passed out at Hallowicket next.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, you know, I guess the point is, like, if it wasn't for the people in the beginning that were investing their time and their love into me, I don't know that I would be here today.
Right.
I really don't, man, because like it was, you know, the thing about it, like me personally, like I look at the first album and I say, you know what, that was me trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do, and it was crude and it wasn't very good. But there was like little hints of genius, and then the second album came along, and it was like there was more hints of genius, and then like the third album came along, and it was kind of got slept on. But I feel like even that album had even more hints of genius that people it just didn't really pick up.
Right.
But like over the years, when you do something that you really try really hard, you know, like my last music video, Blood on Your Hands, I truly believed in my heart of hearts that I would put out that video and people would finally notice, you know? I truly believe that, like, we were going to do something so dope that was, like, they could not deny how dope it was. And it would just have to be fucking just, it would just take off. And maybe that's just me being conceited and thinking that I'm better than I am, but I truly believe that it was so good that they couldn't fucking deny the freshness. And like it would actually take off, and it never did.
There's a lot of people though that if it don't have a bigger label logo on it, they don't pay attention.
It stalled out at like 2,000 views, and I'm like, what the fuck, you know? And it's so discouraging, and I don't want to get negative because I'm more motivated right now than I ever was. Look at this fucking shit, dude. I've got thousands of dollars just in live streaming shit. We're sitting right here in an abandoned school. You know what I mean? Like. I'm not even fucking around right now. But it's time to make some fucking dope music, and I got some dope shit that I'm working on, and I'm telling you, man, the future is gonna be huge.
And
for
the thing
me.
is that you have so many people behind you
Especially
ready
now-
to fucking support you, you know?
especially if ROC is gonna be on the new shit.
Oh my god.
That really happens. Holy fuck.
Right.
I'm still like back
There's only one rule
an
though.
hour ago. Like
You
thinking
gotta
about
put
that.
it out.
What?
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
there's only one
Oh,
rule though.
dude.
You
Yeah.
gotta put it out.
Yeah.
Never heard before. No,
Right.
no, motherfucker. You need to.
You have to
Everybody
make it
needs to
fit
fucking
somewhere.
hear this shit.
But here's what happened though. Here's what happened. I made all these tracks.
And real life happened.
Yes.
A lot of them I played tonight. Like a lot of the world.
But for how
premieres.
long though? How long have you been holding on to those?
10 years.
So
and that's the thing though. So
10
real
years.
life
But
happens.
here's what
but
happened.
he
But-
has an
but here's what
album
happened.
that's been remixed by Fritz, right?
An entire album.
An entire album that's ready to go.
Ready to go other than it needs to be mixed.
Right.
And the thing about it is I got to a point where I was like, fuck this. I want to work on new music. I don't want to work on this tracks that I made 10 fucking years ago.
Yeah, but the
I
thing
wanna
is
work-
that's the point of a cryptic collection.
No, I understand.
And if it's
and
good,
I
it's
still
good.
want to do that. I still want to put it out, and I'm putting half of it out tonight.
But it's like
Right.
you have 3 albums out already. You put out a cryptic collection and
I
then
know,
move to the
and-
next
and
one.
I'm gonna do
Good
it.
shit
but
is
the
good
thing about
shit.
it is you get to a point where it's like, I want to work on something new. So I kind of got sidetracked, and I started working on new music, and that whole album just sat there. So it's gonna come out. And I played half the fucking thing tonight, so it's whatever. But the point is, I'm working on new shit, and I think it's time.
So real quick, this is completely like on the spot. This is my retirement tour for wrestling, and I
That is
would
true.
I
January.
honestly, I would be extremely honored if I could use something that you've either like done before or would do for me for my last shows, for my entrance music.
100%.
Completely, like I would love to
100%.
do that.
Of course.
Really?
Absolutely. I'll make you a fucking track.
Fucking A. Like
It'll
I'm
be a hardcore Heather fucking
fuck yeah,
exclusive.
like seriously, because
track.
it's like
I swear to
your
God, I
shit.
will.
It's completely legit. Like I want to share that with people that have never heard your shit, you know. So put it out
I
there.
appreciate
I mean, that's what we do. I'm very like, you know, if you're a mama papa place or you're underground, you're an independent, you gotta support each other. That's why we're here, you know. So fuck yeah, dude. Fuck
I
yeah.
will totally do that.
Yeah.
I will totally do that. My hands
All
are
right.
sweaty.
Fuck yeah. It's all right. I'm.
Well, at
I'm
least you're,
quite
it's not your face now.
That's all
all
right.
sweaty. Well,
No.
it is a little bit
That's
your
all
face,
right.
but
I'm
Dude,
probably
like-
gonna have to take a shower after this. I'm so sweaty right now. It is ridiculous.
is that just from stress still?
I don't know. Maybe it's hot in here. Are you guys hot? You're not sweating.
It's,
Fine.
but I think it's the alcohol as well.
It's this old abandoned building, man.
It
little
is.
warm.
It's
Yeah.
like you know. It's
Somebody
summer
stole all the
Detroit.
Yeah.
copper piping for the air
Summer
conditioner in the school.
That is a true story too. I'm sure
yeah,
they did.
man. Oh,
All right. Well, it's 10:42.
yeah.
What else do we got to say? Nobody's called in. I'm kind of bummed out that not a single fan has called in.
But you know what? We still have watchers. So we still have watchers. So I'm the type of person I like to know. I like to know a person. Okay.
Right.
So I want to know. What do I want to know about Defekt? Let's
I
see
love video
here.
games.
Oh.
I'm
What is?
a
okay.
fighting game mark.
Oh. Wait a minute. Okay.
Like-
So when you say
like-
fighting game,
Do you mean like Mortal Kombat, or do
or
you
do
mean
you
like
mean
Street Fighter?
like Halo?
Like nowadays, I play the fuck out of like NetherRealm studio games like Mortal Kombat, Injustice.
Okay,
and shit like
okay.
that.
Because I was going to ask you, are you one of those like person shooter people?
No.
Ah,
No.
yes, because that shit's stupid.
No, I'm more of a
I'm
fighting.
sorry, I fucking hate it.
The thing about fighting games
Yes.
is this: like you can sit down with a homie, and it's like a chess match. It's a real-time chess match.
Yes.
You're trying to outdo the person in front of you in real time, and it's high-paced, and I love that, and it's fun. And I've been doing this since I was a little kid, and you know, like even my buddy's V Sinister, you know, he's a fighting game mark. And I play with him a lot of times, and I whoop his ass more often than not. Let's just call it what it is.
I think it's funny watching you two play video games
Yeah.
against each other.
My-
It is like the most competition ever right there. Like,
I love that motherfucker. But look, Killer Instinct is probably my favorite.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The original
Yes.
Killer Instinct, man. I used to put hours into the arcade, man.
Okay, so you guys said arcade, but in your home, did you have like a Nintendo? Were you more Sega?
Man,
like
I
what
had
was
all
your?
that shit.
Oh,
I had all
oh,
that shit. I had NES, I had Super Nintendo, N64,
Oh.
GameCube, Wii.
But
Wii
but
U.
you were Nintendo versus Sony.
You know, as I got older, more Sony. I had PlayStation.
Well, but
1,
yeah,
PlayStation
but as
2,
a child,
PlayStation
you were
3,
like,
or-
oh, because my shit was Super Nintendo. Like that was That
I
was
mean,
my
when
shit,
I was
man.
a kid, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, because I love the Mortal Kombat as well, so it's okay.
All right.
I
Well,
had
maybe,
original Nintendo. I used to play like Astyanax and Codename Viper.
I remember Astyanax, yeah. Hell yeah.
Because my dad used to buy super cheap games.
Right.
Yeah, that's how we rolled.
Right.
Hey, man.
Big up to Hazel Park.
Thank you,
HP.
Mr. Wake,
Krispy
Mr.
Kreme.
Jade's father, for purchasing her games.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Dad.
Did you shoot ducks?
We did. Well, that's the game that came with it.
Did everybody shoot ducks? Did you
Everybody
shoot
shoot ducks.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that
Are you feeling good?
So let's
Okay,
talk,
good.
Well, let's just talk about some other people that you worked with, right? Besides the people that called in. Like you've done a shit ton of stuff with Anybody Killer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, not a. I wouldn't say a shit ton. I mean, there was a small period where I actually went to. I went to what he called the Sweat Lodge studio.
Yeah.
It's not far from this school. And I would go there and I would engineer for him and his label, Native World. And we did the mix. There was a mixtape called The Mix. We did that. And we did a couple of little things, little collabs here and there. And then, one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, I work a day job. So it's like, the thing about it is like, he would be like, hey man, you come do the studio. I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of working a day job right now. So over time, we kind of drifted away in that regard, but I did a lot of stuff for him. Like I engineered ABK's verse on the Blaze album.
Did you do anything for Strychnine?
I recorded Strychnine once or twice, yeah,
Right.
just for the mixtape. Yeah, so I mean, I'm good with all those motherfuckers, man. I love those guys, man. They're
You've appeared on 3 Blaze albums.
yes, it's true.
Yeah.
Clockwork Gray, I did the intro. The Let It Burn single, I did the intro and the hook. And then the Casket Maker, I did the intro as well. A lot of people don't know that.
Right. Yeah. So I literally just learned that today about the Casket Maker. I
right.
knew about the other 2, but I didn't know what the last one.
Casket Maker. Yeah, it was me and no, like, dude, what's fresh about that? Like with the Clockwork Gray thing, it was like I had been talking to Fritz, and he hit me up and said, "Hey man, why don't you come out to this How the Wicked thing we got going on? I'll introduce you to the guys." And I'm like, word? I'm like, fuck yeah. So I rushed out there and his car broke down and it never happened.
Right.
That the whole thing never happened. But he was like, look, man, they want to do this intro and they don't want to do, they don't want to just have somebody from the office do it. They want to do a voice. And I was like, and he's like, I think your voice would be perfect for this. I'm like, all right, dope. Give me the script. So he gave me the script. I recorded it in my studio. I handed it in the next day. Your dad actually came and helped me record it. So I was like, I need another opinion. I'm freaking out. This is going to be on Blaze's album and shit. I need another opinion and blah, blah, fucking blah. So he came over and he was like, all right. And he helped me record it. And we recorded it and we gave him a couple options. And they actually edited this option from this option and this option and pieced it together and made what became the Clockwork Gray intro. And fuck yeah, that was dope. That was super cool, man. And it was pretty much like, yeah, you're on it. They loved it. Jamie loved it. You're on it. I'm just waited for like a half a year for it to come out. Like, what does this sound like? Oh my God, what the fuck does it sound like? And it's like, I just gave him like these raw vocals with nothing behind it. And I heard it and I was like, this is dope. this is super dope. Like what they did with it was cool.
Right.
But like with the casket maker, it was different. Well, let me back up. With the Let It Burn single, it was different because it was like I just showed up to the studio to work on something for Mind Dissection that day, and Fritz was like, "Hey, you want to be on a Blaze track?" And I was like, "Of course. Why wouldn't I want to be on a Blaze track?"
Right.
All right. Well, they need a cop. They need a cop. Or no. I'm sorry. That was a Twisted thing. They need this hook. Okay. All right. So I went in there and did the hook. Or I did the intro. Is he snoring? He is snoring.
Yes, he is.
His fucking mic off because he's snoring.
You should go to the, the penis gallery.
Please?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
he's back.
it.
I can't
Damn it,
believe
he's
this
back.
motherfucker is
No,
snoring.
it's still no. You gotta flip it.
Oh, he's asleep.
He's waking up again.
So the one on the left in the Wicked 101 shirt.
Yeah, he was just snoring just a second ago. He had his head back.
Yeah. See, he already know. It's
motherfucker.
okay.
All right.
We're fine.
'Cause
with
we're
that, Stubbs.
old.
It's fine.
All right,
Go ahead.
So look, what I was trying to say was
Damn it, Stubbs.
the Let It Burn thing. It was cool because I just showed up and it was like, hey, you want to do this Blaze thing? All right, cool. And boom, I went in there and I did the intro and I was like, hey, I got this idea for the hook. Let me just drop it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't like it, cool. So I went in and did the hook thing, and they liked it and they used it. It wasn't even. They didn't even ask me to do that. It was just like, boom. Here's what I think it should be. I keep hearing this in my head. You need to do this. So I did it, and it ended up being that. And then the casket maker was like, hey, get Defekt on this motherfucker, man. We're gonna do this. We need this voice. And they gave me this rhyme. And I was like, this is basically a rap. Like the casket maker intro was basically a rap. So I kind of just took it and made it my own. I was like, I showed up to the studio that day. I showed up to the dojo, and it was like, here's the beat that I've made. And it was like, Fritz, this is the beat that I've made. and it's so fucking crazy sometimes. Because it's like, here's the beat that I've made. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's like almost like this. It's almost like it's meant to fucking be sometimes. Like it just falls into place. Like Fritz was literally, he went to the studio that day with the script. He said, okay, here's the script that Defekt is supposed to read. Let me try to make a beat for this. And he'll start making a beat for it. And like, I'll show up and he'll be like, this is the beat that I've made. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ta-da.
And I'm like, this works really good. And I'll start doing it to it. And it was not really a rap, but it was kind of like a little rap almost. It was like to the beat. The point being is it was super fucking fresh. And I went in there and I schooled it and it ended up on the casket maker.
Sweet.
That's the story.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
story. And I think the majority of, not the majority, but a lot of people know you from the hookup in ashtrays and action figures. So how did you end up doing that? Because that just seems totally random.
I have a slide for that, actually.
Oh, sweet. I
We
didn't
like
even
pictures.
I have a motherfucking slide for that.
I needed like a ta-da.
know. That's the slide.
Boom. So this is me just in the studio doing my thing with Twisted and Asteroids and action figures. But yeah, to tell you how that came about, man, it really just comes down to I've been knowing George since way back in the day, bro. Like he was in the stream tonight for hanging out
I know,
for a
I
couple
see that.
minutes.
We appreciate that.
George is the
Because
coolest
they were actually
motherfucker,
flying
man.
to North Carolina to do the Blue Ridge Festival.
Oh yeah, because that's going on this weekend. Hell
Right.
yeah. So George hit me up. Like the thing is, man, like everybody knows that I'm kind of like a gear guru, you know. So when it came time to hook up the dojo with equipment, they called me. They said, "Hey, what do we need?" It was me and Fritz, and they said, "What do we need?" This guy at fucking Sweetwater is trying to rake us over the coals and sell us all this equipment. What do we actually need?
Right.
So me and Fritz went through there and like, you don't need this, you don't need that. You need this, you need that. That would be dope if you really want to pay for it. That would be sort of fresh. Okay, yeah, you need that. And we kind of narrowed it down for him. And then George says, "Hey man, we got all this equipment coming in. I don't know how to set it up. Do you know how to set it up?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know how to set it up." He's like, "What would you charge us?" And I said, "Bro, you guys have done so much for me. Let me just do this one thing for you." So I went to the studio and I set up the dojo where Twisted records.
Right.
I was literally the guy wiring the shit behind the studio, you know, like wiring the fucking patch bay. Well, they don't have a patch bay, but they have like all the shit. I'm like on the ground, like hooking all that shit up, man. And I tell people a lot of times, like man, this show's going to 3 hours.
You know what though? You know what? People care.
I hope
people are
people still
listening and
watching
watching.
this
Yes, yes.
Are
People give
still
a
watching
shit.
this shit?
Yeah.
Yes.
13 wild. Okay.
You know what?
Yeah,
Fucking
but
people
on your
care.
page we have more on our page.
Yeah.
You don't gotta brag. You don't
I'm
gotta
not
brag.
bragging. I'm
You
just
gotta
saying
brag,
we
you gotta
also have
boast.
people on our page.
But look, I was
They're just there for boobs,
literally
though.
in the trench under the desk wiring shit for Twisted, and that was a surreal moment for me, man, because I grew up watching these motherfuckers and respecting these motherfuckers
Right.
and watching what they were doing and analyzing what they were doing and loving their music, you know, and then there I am fucking setting up their new studio in its infancy, you know,
Right.
when Magic Ninja they didn't even have a name for Magic Ninja. It wasn't even announced yet. And I'm sitting there wiring their fucking studio, and ROC is like breaking apart the box, you know, to fucking wire the desk or the fucking studio rack. He's busting that shit open, and I'm fucking wiring shit. Like, it was so surreal, man, because I grew up respecting these motherfuckers.
Right.
And it was so fresh. It was so fresh. And then, you know, so after that, it was like, then they were going to have this other dude do the radio stuff for them, and that kind of fell through. I don't want to go into all that. And then basically he was like, and then I ended up, like, I work in a music store, and I sold them the equipment to do their radio stuff. And George hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, man, you know, do you want to run this stuff for us? You set it all up for us?" Because I went in there and set it up for them too. Not only their studio, but that part of it too. He's like, "Do you want to run it?" So we worked it out, and I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm down, man. You know, fuck yeah, let me do this. You know, because you know the thing about it is like, you know, there's paying dues and there's paying dues,
Right.
and it's like
Exactly.
I'm still paying dues to this day, and there is something about walking into Magic Ninja and just feeling the energy in that motherfucking place,
Right.
dude.
Right.
And I told George this. I was like, bro, you know, I come to this place and this is the most 100%. Tim can back me up on this. I'm gonna put his mic back on.
What's that?
Walking into Magic Ninja is the most inspiring
Oh,
place
for sure.
I've ever
For sure.
been.
For sure.
Ever been,
Yep.
bro. Like, you walk into that place and the karma is on 10, and it's like people are working and they're moving toward a goal, and you walk in there some random day and Jamie Madrox is writing a verse, and you're like, dude, people would pay to see this
Right,
shit right
exactly.
now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, like, I'm the Forrest Gump of the wicked shit.
I agree with that.
Because Forrest Gump, like, walks into all these fucking
Random situations.
random situations that end up being these historical
Mm-hmm.
moments.
Right.
And, like, that's me. Like, I've done that so many times in the wicked shit. Like, I'm
The
the
wicked
wicked
shit
shit Forrest
historian.
Gump, dude.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You need to get like a
Seriously.
Forrest Gump.
I know that sounds
Hashtag,
stupid.
yes. Oh,
But,
trademark that shit.
But bro, dude, like, I've seen so many historic moments happening, like flies on the wall. People would pay to see some of the shit that I've seen, but the love at Magic Ninja, like, they work so hard. Like I'm not sitting here trying to toot any horns. This show's about
Right.
Defekt and whatnot, but look, man. That place is the most inspiring place I've ever been.
but-
I've been to Psychopathic. I've been to fucking The Gathering. I've been to this place. I've been to that place. I've been to every corner of the underground. But walking into Magic Ninja Entertainment, that place is so fucking inspiring.
Yes,
Right.
it
Like,
is.
the karma is just on 10. Everybody's super fucking cool. Nobody's beefing.
Yeah, you don't.
Everybody's
You ain't got no tension in the air. Or
no,
anything like
man.
That. Everything's
No,
cool
it's
stuff.
so dope, man. And like, everybody's just working toward a common goal. Let's make the dopest shit that
Yes.
we can make and sell as many units as we can make. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same for us. Like,
Yeah.
you know, we've been fans of Twisted since the very beginning.
Right.
You know, like, definitely love them a ton, you know, and I think I've always been more Twisted, you know, so
Right,
like for
same boat.
us, you know, there'll be like a random Q&A and like Paul will put our show over.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're just two fucking chicks from Cincinnati that,
Right.
you know,
Right.
Heather's a
Right.
wrestler, but I just
Dude.
fucking sell Tide Pods.
Well, yeah,
You know,
Like,
so
it's, like seriously, it's a whole like it's a
Jamie and Paul are
dude,
cool as fuck,
fucking-
man. They're
They're real,
but
they're
real
real fucking
dudes, man.
people. Like
You know?
legit, you
Telling
have
you.
to look out for each other. You know, it's like
And then we're, you know,
Yeah.
we're at Warp Tour, and you know, we go up to the meet and greet, and they're like, "We know you guys. We remember you.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
love you."
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, like the people that
Yeah.
were your idols, like your whole life. You know,
Yeah.
to me, it's like amazing to be able to,
Because-
you know, be friends with ROC for so
Oh.
long and be able to say ROC is my friend, and he's literally never said anything bad about anyone
No,
in the 20
ever.
years that I've known him.
Ever.
You know, and it's amazing and inspiring to
Dude.
see those people get on and to see Twisted become something bigger than they've ever been.
Right.
And
Yes.
to know that my
Exactly.
brother is a part of that
Yeah.
is
Yep.
amazing to me. So, like, when I know that it's Ashtrays and Action Figure Day, like,
Yes.
I'm clapping. And I'm
Yeah.
texting you, like, today's the day, bro. Yeah.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
I'm so excited for
it's
you.
so much like
Yeah.
positivity, man. You
It
know,
is,
it's like
dude.
when you find somebody that's a good individual, you want to stick by you want to stick by their side.
Right.
You know, there's so many shitty individuals. So when it's like,
Dude.
especially when you get older,
Like,
you
man.
find those people that were like. You're like, man, like we're all the same.
Dude.
Like we've been fucked over so many times.
Yeah, and I
Like,
think that's the thing. Like, I've been in
come
the
on.
underground for so long. Like, I've dealt with a ton of people. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
like the thing is like I've had interactions like you've had with pretty much every corner of the underground, and it's like I can literally say that with Twisted, you know, in ROC, like it's always been positive.
No bullshit,
You know,
man.
no bullshit.
No.
I've never felt awkward or inept or, you know, just icky.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like to be honest,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
because
No,
being
yeah.
a girl in the underground is
Oh, yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's always like, well, if you want to get these guys on,
Exactly.
like here's what you need to
No,
do,
fuck
and
that.
it's like,
Right.
No.
you know,
Right.
we talk about on our podcast, like we're
Right.
not trying to put random dicks in our mouth to get someone else on,
Right.
Right.
you know,
Right.
so it's not our thing, ever.
Right.
You know, just to be
Right.
clear,
Right,
like
right,
ever. So,
Right.
you know, like it's amazing to me to see you and like, you know, and Tim.
Yeah.
Like I met
Totally.
Tim through you. I love
Yeah.
Tim and Stubbs. Like I met at Astronomicon.
Right.
He's waving. He's awake. Congratulations.
He's awake.
You know, but to see you guys
Yeah.
be a part of something that I see is going to be huge
Yes. Totally.
is amazing.
Dude,
Absolutely.
Yeah. When
And
you-
I'm proud of it. I'm
Yeah,
really,
right.
honestly, truly proud that I've built everything that has to do with Ashtrays and action figures. Like when I came to them, I was like, dude, let's put your fucking Twitter post on
Right.
there, and they were like, oh my god, this is fresh.
Right.
They were like defect with
Dude.
the visuals, man. Like what are you even doing right now? It was like voodoo to them. Like they were
Right.
like, what the
that
fuck?
thing. It's
you
real
know?
life, you know? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
love like real people, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and then as a
They're
listener
so-
too,
but
to
the
be able
thing
to
is-
see your post there, you're like, amazing.
Dude, the thing is, here's the thing. Let me tell you this. If I could say one thing about working with them is that everybody there is super fucking cool. Everybody there is putting in 110%, and they deserve every fucking thing that comes their
Yeah.
way. Everything that they've accomplished,
If not more.
Right.
They
Yeah,
deserve
exactly.
it.
If not more.
they deserve it. I don't give a fuck what any. I just hit the microphone.
Right. You don't give a
Fuck.
fuck about that mic either.
Everybody, everything that they've got, they deserved it.
Exactly, and
they
more.
work so
Yes.
hard, man.
Right.
Like people
They're
don't
the good
see.
ones. Exactly. They
People
are
don't
they are
see.
good.
Look, I'm not here to talk shit, but they work so
Right.
fucking hard.
I
Man.
agree.
They really, really do. You go to, man. I don't want to get on a tangent, but look, I went to Warp
That's
Tour.
what we're here for.
Yeah.
I went to Warp Tour,
Yeah.
and they killed it.
Right.
Dude.
They were like,
We were at Warp Tour
Yeah,
too.
we were at Warped Tour in
they
Cincinnati.
were like, it was
Dude.
like, bro. Like
Dude.
these motherfuckers never gave me goosebumps like that since the
Dude.
first show that I seen
Well,
them
and then
at.
to
It's a
see-
different crowd, you
Well,
know.
and
You
then to
have
see
to
people,
fucking-
he's like, you know, who's the first time seeing Twisted? Like, who's here for the first time? And,
And it
like,
was
so many
so
people.
many people.
Yes.
I'm like,
And it
I'm
was
like,
like that's
great.
how important this is to their
Exactly.
career.
but like
you
for
know?
me, I'm like, this month.
yeah,
Right, you
this
know,
month,
yeah,
exactly,
exactly.
yeah.
You know, because it's like we're
For sure.
we're at Louisville, we're in Kokomo, we're in Columbus,
Right.
we're in
And it's-
Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
And it's funny though, because a lot of the people that I know, they're all like, "Oh, fucking Twisted," you know. They think old school Twisted. I'm like, yo, you don't understand. Like
Right.
Twisted's, they're fucking lyrically, they're fucking hip hop. magic. Like, you don't
Yeah.
understand. It's a family. It's amazing.
Right.
So,
Anyway,
Oh
that
my
was our
God,
twisted
yeah.
tangent.
Yeah, that was our twisted.
Jesus
we're all
Christ.
We
twist-
love you, Jamie and
We're
Paul.
all
Oh,
twisted
hell yeah.
marks,
yes.
I think.
Yes. Oh my God.
All right, so
Look.
where were we? We talked about mind dissection.
We talked about broken mirrors.
Yeah.
We talked about you being on all the Blaze album.
God, how
We
much
talked about-
shit do you got left? See.
We could talk all
Dude,
fucking night,
I
bro.
know,
I've
like,
done so
that's
much
the,
shit.
That's
We
the
got
thing is
look,
that,
like,
like,
you what?
I was saying defect.
Yes.
I was like, look, you know, I'm like, I think you need to do a Wicked 101, but I think you need to be the guest.
Yes.
And, you know, because I love myself, I was like, Heather and I should do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm trying to mark out the Best Friend Show podcast. If you don't watch it, it's every other Friday. Next
Right.
one will
But
be
look,
September
but
14th.
Follow us on,
But I was
truly-
like, we
on the
should do it.
medias.
And he was like, I don't know. Because I think he was kind of looking at other people like V Sinister
Mhm.
and Staples, you know, people that we've
Nah.
had long-term relationships with. And then all of a sudden one day I get a text and he's like, you know what? I've been thinking about it and you're right. I should do a Wicked 101 with me as the guest. And I think you should do it because you've been there since the beginning.
It's true.
And I really
It's true.
I really appreciate that, but I think, you know, Defect works so hard and put in so many other people over
Right.
that I thought there should be a time
Yeah.
that he gets put over.
And I can see that by only like coming in late into the game. I can fucking see that. I can see you're the type of person you put everybody else over before yourself. So,
It's true.
look, we were supposed to record for fucking 2 hours, and we're now
We're
at the
3
3 hour
hours.
and
We're at
12 minutes,
3:05.
and fucking people are still watching and giving a shit.
People are still watching.
So,
Fuck it.
you
We'll
know,
keep it going.
so you know
Fuck
what? People give a shit about you.
And we can always cut it.
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
know.
when he goes
Yeah,
to
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah,
cut
this
out,
part was
yeah.
whack. We'll
Oh.
just cut it out.
Yeah.
No,
You know, Defect's
I'm
talking.
just saying, like, if there's a point where you look at it and you're like, you guys were
Dude.
probably just talking to talk,
Yeah.
you know, like, really cut it at the 2 hour
There
mark.
really
No.
wasn't a lot of that.
I don't think so.
No.
There
I
was a
think
couple
this
points where,
is-
like in the beginning, where we're like, "Oh, we're gonna let
Oh,
you guys run it."
oh,
and
we're
then
gonna
it
touch
was
this
like,
button.
Oh, yeah,
Fuck.
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You might have to cut out a
I
little
had to come
snoring.
in and
Right.
the homie was snoring, and you know.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, but I don't think
But
we
look,
should
No,
do
at
that.
the end-
But
at the
we
end
were
of the day,
talking.
at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys coming and doing this because honestly, the reality of the situation is I put a lot of thought into it. I put a lot of thought. You know, this was like a most requested show. Like people were like doing Defekt Wicked 101. Like let's talk about you. And I was like, I gotta have the right person to do it because it was like, is it me? Is it
Yeah.
Staples? Is it PJ? Is it fucking like who's the best person? And you guys are doing your thing with the Best Friend Show, and it makes sense because Jade was literally there from day one, like literally day one.
Right. That's how I know of you. Honestly,
Right.
it's through Jade.
Day
So
one.
yeah, I mean,
So it
Makes
It
sense.
makes perfect sense.
completely
And,
makes sense.
So anybody that thinks it doesn't make sense, you need to fucking.
Call in.
Fuck you.
Also, call in Adventure
Actually,
Frustration.
it's possible that people have tried to call in and I didn't.
Has
notice.
anyone tried to call in?
Nobody's tried to call in.
Perfect.
You know why?
Perfect.
Because it's
We didn't
Saturday
miss any
night.
calls.
They're fucking partying. But look. Hey.
Or maybe they've had
would
a
you
long
like to
week
see-
like
look,
Stubbs
look.
and they're sleeping now.
You got a woot. Yeah, what's
Yeah,
going
no,
on? What's going on?
yeah.
Let's see what's going on. in the
Okay,
text
well that's
real
all
quick.
that's going up
Well,
there.
I think
so,
maybe that's something that we should do because I
Yeah.
don't like normally during Wicked 101 you'll look at the comments, but I don't think that we've really done that because on our Best Friend Show we really don't do that very well.
Well, because we're here and it's like, what did you say, Stubbs?
I didn't
Usually
understand
just
it.
stir crazy and a
I
couple
said,
other
no,
randoms
I've noticed
talking.
that you
like,
guys
there's
don't
really not
check
a lot
your
going on,
comments
to
during
be
your
honest.
podcast.
No, we check them, but see, so what had happened, we're way far back and the computer's way up there. We're not like Defekt. We don't have fucking 3 computers. We're like old school. Can't
Wait,
reach this shit. So we see you
So did you
an
leave a-
hour later.
Did you leave a comment, Stubbs, that we didn't respond to?
Look, his eyes are closed. Oh, I called you out. Okay, so
So are you? So you're
His eyes are closed, but they're actually open.
right.
So are you?
As you can see,
Are you complaining about nothing then?
What is he even talking about?
What?
I'm not.
agreeing with you.
Can we just leave it on him? Can
You're.
we talk
Oh,
over it?
you're agreeing with us
Can
that we
we-
don't check the comments because you sounded bitter.
No.
Okay.
No bitterness.
Okay,
Okay.
so real quick, I have to ask 2 questions. 2 questions that that we have brought up on the Best Friend Show podcast that are super fucking huge questions. Okay?
To me?
Super huge. Yes, to you.
It's 3 hours in. Do you still have
Look,
more questions?
No.
Yes. No, I
These
do.
are important
no,
questions.
these are
All right,
important questions.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Question number 1.
Okay.
Do you pour the cereal first or do you pour the milk first?
Cereal first.
Cereal.
That's the only way.
Next
Cereal
question
first.
is cereal soup.
No.
Ah,
No.
that's not the next question.
That is my next question because that was
Okay,
a huge
so
question on our
I
show.
thought about all these because I watched all the episodes.
Well, you didn't watch them. You listened to them at least.
Yeah.
To be
No.
so, okay. So if you pour your cereal first and then the milk, please message me and make sure that I am not. Oh,
Heather's literally the one of 3 people.
So what
in
had
the
happened?
world.
So
That
I
was
had.
the milk first.
So,
yeah,
so
for
to be
sure.
fair, my mother had messaged me and said, "Hey, that's how I do it." I said, "So it's your fault."
That's where you learned that
That's-
horrible habit from.
So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. So fuck. What is the other one? I don't even know what the other. I've been drinking way too much. I don't even know.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah, but yeah.
Cereal soup is an important question. Stubbs,
No.
how dare you? Tim,
Wait,
Is,
what? No, my bad. I was looking at my phone.
is cereal soup? Question mark.
No.
it's food floating in liquid.
Well, I mean, I guess if you put it that way, you could consider it soup.
No,
But
it's
that's what
not.
we're asking.
Cereal
It's
is
not
cereal to
We
me.
need
Cereal
a clear,
soup.
definitive answer
definitely
from
not
you,
soup.
Tim.
Okay.
Ladies with no mics.
Ladies with no mics. You can't see. Oh, it's not
Okay,
soup.
fuck
Yeah.
them too.
So I know what my last one was.
All right.
Defekt, real quick. Defekt. Your Pop Tarts. Do you toast them, or do you just eat them out of the package?
It depends on how much of a hurry I am.
Exactly.
If
Okay,
I have
okay.
the time, if I have the time, I
You
will
toast them, right?
Yes, if I have the time.
They're
But
always
if you're
better
there-
toasted.
but if
Thank
you're in
you.
a hurry,
Better toasted, yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Wait. The chocolate ones are better toasted.
I like
Everything's
I like them toasted.
better
yes.
toasted.
I'm talking to Stubbs.
but if you're in a hurry,
Because he's
No,
currently
it's-
sober
no, it's-
and awake.
How dare you?
eat
Don't-
them out of the package.
Do not. Stubbs is on the
Stubbs.
struggle bus.
Struggle.
Okay. I'm trying to keep him in the loop.
Can we just keep it on him,
Because
please?
if he snores, then that's a problem for us. So, Tim,
Stubbs, you're on the air, by the way.
I
Wave.
realized.
No,
What?
look up.
Say hi.
Can you wave to everybody? Okay.
Stubbs is my favorite.
He gives no fuck. Like legit.
He legit doesn't give a
He walked
I
into the
wonder
house
how many dabs does Stubbs do in a day?
and go.
Tell us, Stubbs.
He
please.
has no idea. It's way too many. He looks at Tim. Tim, answer the question.
The number is 13.
Oh.
No, I don't.
He goes to Tim. Tim hands them out to him. Here's one for you now,
Right.
buddy.
No, I thought you were asking Tim how many I do a day.
No, I was asking you.
Yes, you, and you.
Oh,
No
How
answer
many
to
do
us.
I do? I don't know. I don't count.
Okay, Tim.
What? How many do I do a day or
No.
him? No, I have no idea. I don't watch them at all times.
All right, we're gonna turn their camera
Okay,
off.
and we're back.
All right.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
back. To our
Welcome
Those-
back
those
from
are
the
the
penis
two-
gallery.
All right. Well, do you think we
Yes,
should
dude.
wrap it up here?
I think so.
We're
Yeah.
11, 12. It's
Yeah.
three and
Jesus
a quarter hours.
Oh my God, that's
But it's
longer
been
than
a
like
good time.
Yes, it
It's
was
been
a
a
good
really
time.
good time.
So
Thank you
everybody
guys so
fucking
much for
listen.
coming
Well,
down here.
Yay.
So before we wrap, though, like how long do
Yes.
you think before the next album?
Yes. 1 year.
Why are you gonna put me up?
6 months. Well, he has to
TikTok.
do
No,
all.
I'm
TikTok.
working
We
on
need
shit.
an official release
Well,
date
well,
right
No,
now.
I don't need official
No.
release date. I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
thinking next year.
is it like Alligator Mouth 3 months, Alligator Mouth 6 months?
The
2019?
the remix album, like I mean, it's basically done.
It's
I mean,
been
I
done,
could, I could,
though,
I could
but
put
like
out.
it's been done.
It's been
Like
done.
I know for sure it's
Okay.
been done.
Been done, yeah. I could put that out this year if I
Oh.
really wanted to. I might just put it out as a mixtape just to let everybody have
A
it.
mixtape.
Wait. Is
A
it gonna
tape?
be? Is
Can
it
it
gonna be?
please be a
Is it gonna be
cassette?
free?
Can it be a cassette? You said tape.
I think it might be free, yeah. I'm just done talking about it. Like I'm not
Dude,
excited
just do
about
it.
it. I might just put it out just to let y'all motherfuckers have it. You know what I mean? Like, here's some shit I did 10 fucking years ago that never got released.
But people want that, though.
People want that. I know that.
It's true.
But I'm not excited about it. I'm not like this is the new Defekt shit.
But
It's
Yeah,
not
but
like
it's,
that,
but
you
it's
know what I
not
mean?
though.
Lead
You're
up.
you're putting it out as a cryptic collection.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes, build
Yeah.
up, man.
So I think I'm gonna put it out as a mixtape. Just put it out for free and just kind of give it out. But it's basically done. I just gotta mix it. And you heard half the fucking shit tonight. So that's that.
And the hardcore Heather Owens intro music will also be done.
What's my deadline?
Well, I have a show next weekend.
Why
So,
don't? But
so
no, why don't
That's
we
a
can?
wash.
we can work.
Monday
we can
will
work
be
some
good.
shit out.
Like, why don't you think about? Not Steve. Defect. So, all right. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you like go through your stuff and think about what would be a good intro for Heather, and then she could just use a song you already have.
There's nothing. I need to make
Hashtag
something.
I currently use Hatebreed. So good luck. Good luck.
Setting the bar high for you right there.
It's all right, bro. Look. I want to represent you. I want to put you out there. And if you have like fucking singles or
No. I'm making a hardcore Heather track.
oh, well, you gotta hurry up and do it so I can sell it at shows. I'll give you a profit.
All right.
Her last
Okay.
show is in January.
You have no.
So you can't.
February 2nd.
Oh, I'm
My
sorry.
last
can't fuck
wrestling
around.
show is
Yeah.
February 2nd,
So you
2019
can't
in
take
Lima,
3 months,
Ohio.
3
Ooh.
months to figure out the beat. That'll be a
Sidetrack,
problem.
Lima, Ohio is not far, so anybody in the Detroit area can come down to Lima, Ohio.
It's a
That's
2-hour
about
drive.
2-hour drive.
Jay Reno, if you're still watching, I need a beat for this.
Oh, shit. Right here. Anyway, go
All
ahead.
right. Well.
Yes.
On that note,
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us all fucking night long. It's Saturday night. We know you're fucking busy. You're buying fucking burritos through a drive-through.
Right
We
now.
get it. Awesome.
and you can watch the Best Friend Show or listen to the Best
Yes.
Friend Show podcast
Every Tuesday that has
No,
been
every other
revamped by our lovely one of our
Yoda.
co-best friends, Yoda, Mr. Defekt. He does all the shit. So
I
check
actually
us out.
edited it, and well, I basically just cleaned it up.
That's
Make it
all
sound
right.
But
pretty.
he did the whole intro.
Yeah.
I did the intro. Yeah, I did it.
Which is fucking amazing.
It is amazing. Everybody talks
Amazing.
about how much they love
So
it.
classy.
Yeah.
Yes. So check us out. Check Defekt out. Wicked 101.
So we're the Best Friend Show. I'm Jade.
I'm Heather.
This is
Defekt.
Defect, who's
you-
not paying attention.
Oh, you mixed your shit. What?
I have one more thing I have to announce.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I have to announce the next show.
Oh.
Oh yes.
Oh shit. We're gonna have Kuma.
Cool. Oh.
Kuma. It's live right now. Look at that.
Oh shit.
Kuma is gonna be in the building on October 6th.
Dun dun dun.
Kuma, if you don't know Kuma, he has done music videos, he's done beats, he's done all kinds of shit for Psychopathic over the years, and he's gonna have a lot to talk about. He's my homie. He lives right around the corner from this
Nice.
fucking this
Abandoned schoolhouse. So it's not a safe neighborhood either.
It's not
Right.
a safe neighborhood, and
He
he's
could
gonna
die on
come
his way
through,
over.
and we're gonna talk to him, man. I'm really excited for this, dude. This
I
is
am
gonna
too,
be
man.
super
That's
fucking
that's
cool.
fucking
man.
awesome.
And then actually, I'm announcing it now, even though we don't have an official ad for it yet, because I don't have a.
Ooh, I'm so excited. Go ahead. Yes.
We're gonna do. Class is gonna be my guest in October.
No.
Or no, November. I'm sorry, I'm getting drunk. Okay, November. November.
No, you're already drunk, bro.
Kuma is
Like,
my guest
dude,
in October.
November.
Class is my
Yes.
guest in November.
Look, all the love, man, to all y'all.
And
Fuck
Defect
yeah.
promises that he'll be more regular.
Yeah,
I'll be more regular.
because we won't be here. We're bad influences. Wah wah wah.
So
And on that note-
he'll be Johnny on the ball. So like we were saying, Best Friend Show podcast. I'm Jade,
I'm Heather.
I'm Defekt.
and we're out.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.
We love y'all, motherfuckers. Have a good night.
Bye.